What a glorious day it is. Beautiful weather outside. The sun is out and shining. Our New York Knicks demolished the Atlanta Hawks to close out their series last night. The Philadelphia 76ers managed to force Game 7 against the Celtics. And we have the opportunity here tonight to lay witness to a possible Detroit Pistons 1 seed going down to the Orlando 8 seed. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Game 6. Important elimination game, of course. Can Detroit force a Game 7? Again, no Franz Wagner. We got a couple of things to go over. Let's just go ahead and start the show. Are you kidding me? Here we go, back again. Isn't it a glorious day where you could come out and not have to worry about, we got relaxation basketball here tonight as Knicks fans, folks, because I know most of us in here early are Knicks fans. I know we're here. We're here. Ain't it easy? Ain't it just a glorious thing to just know my team took care of business in the playoffs in dominating fashion, in historic fashion? Yes, we looked up all the history, all the facts, yada, yada. All the history was made last night by the New York Knicks in a glorious way. And like I said, you're looking around the rest of the East, and we're looking at Boston. Boston somehow still favored to make it out of the East. Okay. I see you, Boston. Go ahead, you better make sure you handle business against Philly. My guy, Suns getting us started off the right way. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. 5 gifted memberships. Oh my goodness, what a way to start it. Hopefully we get bingo today. I'm trying to match it. But like I said, Philly able to take care of business at home, sending Boston back home, possibly being eliminated in the first round after having championship finals expectations coming into the playoffs. They didn't have that coming into the season. No, they didn't. As a matter of fact, there's probably a small minority, but a minority nonetheless, a group of fans from the Boston Celtics who were like, man, we should have just tanked the year. You're telling me we could have just tanked the year, ended up with a good draft pick? Tatum didn't even play anyway. He's not even playing all that well now in the postseason. But you know what this isn't about? This isn't about the Boston Celtics who have to play a Game 7 at home against the Philadelphia 76ers as Joel Embiid has run roughshod against that team for the most part. Well, in the games he's been back, he's been all right. Look at them still popping up. Shout out everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys. But not only that, here tonight, the Detroit Pistons initially fell down 3-1 in the series and had a little bit of a blessing. Had some good luck on their side, where unfortunately their good fortune is coming from the misfortune of the Orlando Magic, as Franz Wagner is out yet again here tonight with a calf injury. I don't think he'll be back anytime soon. I don't think he'll be back for a possible Game 7. I don't think he'll be back for if Orlando finds a way to win these games in the second round of the playoffs against what could be the Cavs or the Raptors. We'll find out tonight, I guess, if we'll have a Game 7 there as well. Not even to mention the late game, which has nothing to do with the East. That's the Lakers versus the Rockets on a possible what could be a Game 7 after a 3-0 series lead from the Lakers. I'm not as interested in that. It is what it is. But the Knicks sitting pretty as the lone Eastern Conference team to wrap up their first round. Listen, they went down 2-1, and people were writing their obituaries. They were coming up with, what do we put on this version of the Knicks tombstone? Is Mike Brown going to be fired? My guy, the Fleas, with an incredibly generous super chat. Appreciate you, Fleas. Thank you for that support, brother. One simple message. Let's go Knicks. We're going to keep the party going. And you know, we're going to keep the party going tomorrow. And the day after that, and the day after that, up until the Knicks finally have to play a game again. And then we can lock back in. But until then, it's a celebration. It's a party. We're going to have fun. Don't let anybody tell you you can't celebrate a first-round series win when you have championship expectations. Because none of this is guaranteed. You look at Detroit. None of this is guaranteed. You look at Boston. And here tonight, we're going to see what Detroit is made of. Are they made of what the Knicks are made of? Or are they made of what the lowly Celtics are made of? Are we getting a Game 7? Or is Detroit going out sad against the 8 seed, making history themselves? As one of the very few, it's happened before, but very, very seldomly has an 8 seed managed to pull off a victory against a 1 seed. But not only that, I think Orlando truly would go down in the history books because normally, not always, but normally when an 8 seed overcomes a 1 seed, it's often with a series of ramifications along the team where maybe a player is out injured or just not 100%. And I get it, Cade Cunningham, not 100% with the collapse lung and whatnot. But you know, when you go off for 45, what am I supposed to do with that? You're capable. I know you're more than capable, right? I'm looking at the other guys. Jalen Durant not showing up. He's healthy. He's capable. Why can't he show up? So this team as a whole is definitely facing history in the wrong way, whereas my Knicks say history in the right way. But you know, I'm going to keep bringing it up because like I said, it's a party up until the Knicks have to get ready for the next game. But we can't even get ready for the next game because we don't know who they're playing because Boston is on the verge of a 3-1 collapse themselves. Here we go. Here we go. Let's break down tonight's game. Let's get to that. Let's put the Knicks to the side. For now, we'll get back to them. For now, let's put them back to the side. Let's get to the game here tonight. The Detroit Pistons flying down to Orlando for what is going to be the last time because it's Game 6. Game 7, if it is forced by Detroit here tonight, will be in Detroit. So this is the last game for the Orlando Magic in this series at home. They have to handle business. And like I said, no Franz Wagner. So, of course, we're looking at Paolo Banchero. I'm looking at Desmond Bane, who had an incredible home game to go up 3-1 when it was a 2-1 series lead. So I'm looking for Banchero, Bane, Suggs, and Carter Jr. as the new core forward, with Franz Wagner, unfortunately, out with the calf injury, to step up here tonight. Can they do it? That's what we're here to find out. It should be a good game. Should be an incredible game. Not to mention, we're also going to keep an eye on the other East game, which tips off in about 40 minutes or so, 7:30 start time, so we're looking at about 7:40 tip-off time. That's a 3-2 lead for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm looking for a Game 7 in that one. If we get 3 Game 7s and the New York Knicks dominated Game 6, which honestly it should have been a 5-game series at worst. Like I said, should have been Knicks in 5, but unfortunately it was Knicks in 6 because they had to throw away a game just to them. And then they locked in. I said I'd put the Knicks to the side, but I can't stop bringing them up because it's a celebration. It's a celebration up until we actually have to start getting ready for the next series. But we can't get ready for the next series because there's a Game 7 because they can't take care of business. Anyway, let's get here. Let's see if Detroit can take care of business. Star, what's up, Star? Appreciate you. Knicks are not going to lose to the team that loses to 76ers. It's going to be a wrap. Let's do it. Scomberg, what's up, Scomberg? Sons Jen, what's up, Sons Jen? Joseph, what's up, Joseph? Delu Marie, what's up, Delu Marie? Scomberg, appreciate you, brother. Again, Jason, what's up, Jason? Justice Dad, as always, the Fleas, Bruce Fowler, appreciate you guys. My guy, the Fleas, incredibly generous. Appreciate you for your generosity, the Fleas. Who else we got in here? Ian Parkins, what's up, Ian? Vic, what's up, Vic? Appreciate you guys. We had a bunch of gifted memberships already from my guy Sons Jen. Out here celebrating the right way. Appreciate you, brother. President Boy Goomba, my guy Joey DeLuca. Yes, sir. What's up, Joey? Jason again. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Going all the way up to the top. Ty Eagles. Susan, of course. Appreciate you. Joseph, what's up, my brother? What's up? It's going to be an incredibly fun night. It's going to be an incredibly fun couple of days of basketball because, like I said, we have stress-free basketball available to us, which you don't normally get in the playoffs. We have stress-free basketball. Our Knicks, my Knicks, your Knicks, our Knicks have moved on to the second round, whereas these other teams got to battle it out, got to get it out of the mud. Can they get out of the mud? I don't know. That's what we're here to find out. I can't wait to watch it. I really can't. Again, stress-free basketball. It don't matter. Philly, Boston, bring them whoever it is. You gotta beat good teams in order to make the finals anyway. That was the mentality going in against the Hawks, right? Hawks or Raptors. Don't matter. You gotta beat good teams against the playoffs anyway. Boston or Philly. It don't matter. If you consider yourself a championship contending team, roll the ball out. You gotta be the best team. You're not winning a championship unless you can prove you're the best team in the league. So whether it's Boston or Philly, bring them on. I'm not even talking about this game right now. Let's get to the game. Just that said, probably don't play again until Wednesday. I think Tuesday is when the game is scheduled. Maybe Wednesday. I don't know. We're going to have to look it up. I think, actually, we don't have to necessarily look it up because I know If we go to Twitter, we can look it up because I know Ian Begley put up the possible. So if I bring up Ian Begley's Twitter account, just scroll down a couple of posts. He's going to be posting a lot about last night's game, so we're going to scroll for a bit here. The possible permutations. Here we go. Pull it up. We'll put it over here real quick. We'll do this so we can look at it together. So these were the possible permutations. So they would have been playing on May 2nd. Instead, they'll be playing on May 4th because there is a Game 7, obviously. So May 4th is when? Is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? Pull it up real quick. It is Monday. So they play Monday. So Boston or Philly, whoever ends up winning Game 7, only has 1 day of rest in between, and then we jump right into Monday. The Knicks have 3 days of rest. Today, tomorrow, Sunday, and then we got to lock in on Monday. So we know Monday, we're locking in. We're locking in on Monday, guys. But let's run through this real quick. As a matter of fact, it's Game 6. Do we really need to run through the player graphics? We don't really need to do that. We haven't really done that all playoffs long just because, like I said, we know these teams. We know where we're sitting at. We know what to expect. Just that's a T-Wolves versus Spurs on Monday, too? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Second round officially off on Monday. We can't wait. Can't wait. Scoreboard said, I really want Boston, but if Detroit and Boston lose, we have the home court for the rest of the playoffs. For the rest of the East playoffs, up until the Knicks get to the finals, because we know they'll get to the finals, up until the Knicks get to the finals, in which case either, I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's either going to be OKC or San Antonio, and in which case both of those teams have better records than the Knicks, so they would have home court advantage in the finals. So up until the finals. Remainder of the East playoffs. Randy, what's up, Randy? What happened to Boosie? I don't know, brother. I don't know. Got knocked to the ground. You know, it was a perfect representation, Randy, of what happened to the Hawks. Got ran over by the Knicks. Got ran over. Knocked to the ground, couldn't get back up, laid there by himself. Perfect representation of what happened to the Hawks that night, man. Just that said 3 Game 7s on Sunday would be fun. Would be fun. I guess, yeah, we could be primed for 3 Game 7s on Monday. Monday? No. What day? Sunday. I guess we could be primed for 3 Game 7s on Monday. With the 3-game slate here tonight, you got Pistons, Magic, Cavs, Raptors, Lakers, Rockets. And I'll tell you this, no matter what game, I assume we have to have a Game 7 on Sunday. So whichever one, hopefully all 3, because well, maybe not, but hopefully at least 2, because honestly, hopefully all 3. Screw it. I don't care. Magic, Pistons, move on to the next round. It don't matter. It don't matter. Like I said, you got to be good teams to get there anyway. So, Game 7 on Sunday, hoping for a triple header so we can cover all 3 of them on Sunday. I can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. Imagine the Rockets come back from 3-0. Would be historic. Which, you know, we have a nice tradition here of covering history, right? Starting with last night. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for Sunday. Whatever games end up going to 7. Hopefully we have some fun ones, man. Hopefully we have some fun ones. But let's lock in here. Again, we don't necessarily have to go through the... Oh, did I not throw it in here? I don't think I threw it in here. Hopefully we don't have to go through the... Actually, hold on. Let me... What channel is this on Amazon Prime? Let me pull up the game so we don't miss the tip-off. There we go. Going over to Amazon Prime. Make sure this is nice and low volume so you guys can hear it coming through my mic. There we go. Boom. That's up. Now let's take a look over at our bingo card here tonight. Not much to really go over, obviously, but just see what we got to look at. Again, it's the same things on the bingo card. The only thing that's different is the placement of what we're looking at. So if we go ahead, throw it in here so we take a look at it together. Tobias Harris for 15, Anthony Black 12, 3 and 3, Suggs 3 stocks, Travel, Bane 3 threes. So we have 3 Orlando Magic ending up in the top row. That could be tough. We have Thompson 3 stocks, shot clock violation, flagrant foul, Robinson 3 threes, Duran 20 points, and again, 3 Pistons props here coming in row 2. So again, not going to be the easiest thing in the world. Banchero for 30, successful challenge. Cunningham for 30, technical foul. So the Stars have to go ban for ban again here in order for us to get bingo in this row here. We got any play for 3 blocks, Carter Jr. for 15, a double-double, 2 consecutive missed free throws, a player fouling out. Would have to be an incredibly good basketball game to end up here. Goaltend, fail challenge, jump ball, triple-double, and a 4-point play. Same things as usual, again, just placed in different areas. It's randomized. I don't sit there and strategically think, should I put this one here? Should I put this one there? I put them in basically with my eyes closed. I'm putting this one here. Now I'm going to put that one there. Now I'm going to put this one here. And it just fills up the board. Jessica Griffith, what's up, Jessica? Let's go Orlando. Absolutely. Skonberg said, I think it'll be a big game from Bane, Black, De Silva, and Kane. Banchero will be himself as usual. They're going to need Banchero to be himself, for sure. That's number one, because if he's not, they're not going to have much of a chance unless they could find a way to slow down Cunningham. I think the most interesting thing here tonight is going to be how do you guard Cade Cunningham? What is the game plan going to be after he absolutely cooked you the other night, considering you lost your primary matchup against him? It's not like Banchero, or it's not like the Pistons guarding Banchero, where like their matchup has been the same all series long. He's going to either make shots or miss shots. It is what it is. You're going to have to play solid defense and just, again, hope he misses. Maybe do a better job of keeping him off the line and whatnot. But when it comes to Cade Cunningham, he really struggled with turnovers, as he did the other night, even without Franz, but also efficiency with Franz guarding him. And without Franz, they don't really have the physical matchup for him outside of Paolo Banchero. But once you pull Paolo Banchero off of Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren helping out in the paint and having him out on the perimeter, number one, you're overtaxing him to that point where now he's got to guard the best player in the opposite team, but then also be the core engine on offense for your team. So you're overtaxing him. It is a very important game here for the Magic, so we'll see if that's an area they decide to go. He doesn't have to do it all game. Maybe that's an adjustment they make in the second half or maybe a fourth quarter, depending on how the game is going. But I think overall, the thing with this Magic team is the defense has been there for the most part, obviously outside of, without Franz, outside of this Cade matchup now. We'll see how it goes. But the thing that has kind of decided whether or not they win or lose is how the offense has been able to generate points here tonight, right? Or points over the course of the series. Skonberg said Kane needs to guard Cade. He did in the previous game, and it's not that Kane has done like a terrible job or anything like that. Like Cunningham's just that good. The problem is that Kane doesn't have the physicality and the size to match up with Cunningham, so oftentimes Cunningham can just easily get to a spot, rise up, and shoot the mid-range shot, and whether Kane gives a good contest or not, you're kind of just praying to the basketball gods that Cade is off with his jump shot here tonight, which could happen. But I think as long as you keep him out of the paint, you're going to have to live with Cade Cunningham taking and hopefully making and missing these shots here tonight if you're the Magic. Same with the Pistons, honestly, with their game plan against Banchero. You got to make sure Suggs doesn't have open looks. You got to make sure Bane doesn't have open looks. And if you keep Banchero settling for jump shots all night, you're just going to have to pray to the basketball gods that he misses his shots. And I think that's honestly, as simple as it sounds, the main game plan here tonight for both sides. Bruce Fowler said, got to admit when I'm wrong. I wrote Banchero all season long for not developing his game. I watched enough non-Knicks matchups to be disappointed in his development. I was wrong. Here's the thing, Bruce. I don't think you were wrong. He had a very up and down and very maligned regular season. You weren't wrong for thinking that. He has upped his game here in the playoffs. He's been better in the playoffs than he was in the regular season. He's kind of been, he's had one other playoff series before this year tonight, or before this series this year. And he was absolutely fantastic in that playoff series. He might just be a playoff riser. But yeah, he needs more consistency in the regular season. You're not wrong for feeling that way. We have the tip. The Pistons winner. We're off and running. Here we go. Game 6, elimination game yet again for the Pistons. Second one around. They get it over to Duncan Robinson. Where's our thing? It's not up yet. Now they get it. They try to get it back to Cunningham. Thrown away, but Banchero knocks it into the backcourt. They got 4 seconds to go in their shot clock. All right, gives us just enough time. Here we go. My goodness. I'm like, where is it? Where'd it go? Let's get our lineups going. Same starting lineups that we know. Kane is in the starting lineup for the injured Franz Wagner, like he was in the previous one. Suggs in the backcourt knocks it loose again. 1.5 on the shot clock for the Pistons now in the first possession. Orlando mucking up Detroit's offensive game plan already. Cunningham's got to throw the baseball pass. It's picked off. It's a turnover. Kane bringing it down. Pulls it out, has it up top, hands it off to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. calling out for a backdoor cut. He doesn't, so they get it over to Banchero up top, being guarded by Cunningham, driving to his left in the lane. Gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2. All right. Literally exact game plan that Orlando would love to come out with. They get an incredible defensive stop on the Pistons, forcing a turnover. Could have been 3 turnovers, or 3. They had They had two other opportunities to force a turnover. Finally forced the turnover on the third opportunity. They're picking off on the four-court baseball pass from Cunningham. There's a turnover for Cade to start the game. And then on the other end, Paolo Banchero draws an immediate foul on Cade Cunningham as he knocks down the first free throw. And that will also be playing a factor here tonight because in the previous game, Orlando probably would have been a lot closer in that game and maybe even could have pulled it off if they just knocked down their free throws. So Banchero knocking down his first one's a good sign, but he's got another one coming. Can he go 2 for 2? He missed 6 free throws, I believe, in the last game, right? He misses the second free throw. That's not a good sign. But offensive rebound goes to the Magic. Get it to Banchero. Cross-court pass. Carter Jr. ran out the line by Duren, coming to his left. Stops, pump fakes, and almost throws it away. Suggs saves it, steps behind the three-point line. A right corner three falling out of bounds. Halfway down, but he can't get it to stay. Jaden McDaniels, get off the screen, brother. We're not here for you tonight. Here we go. Harris driving it down, gets fouled by Suggs, who tried to jump his ball handling and ends up fouling him, going for the steal. And it's 1-0. Scoreboard said getting Cade into foul trouble should be a must for Orlando. Obviously, you always want to get the star in foul trouble. The problem is stars usually do a really good job. They're usually high IQ players, right? Like Cade is. High IQ players who know I got one foul. Let me not pick up a second cheap one here, especially early in the game. Duncan Robinson, after the pump fake, spins off the defense. Lefty layup, can't get it to go. Duren right there for the tip up and in. After Wendell Carter Jr. had to come over to help contest the Duncan Robinson layup. We're pushing the other way. Carter Jr. has it up top and pump fakes. Keeps it, gets it over to Bane. Left wing three, getting off of Cunningham. Knocks it down for Desmond Bane. They're going to need him to have a big night here tonight. They're going to need him, Suggs, Banchero, all to bring it tonight offensively. You're going to need some contribution from Carter Jr. offensively as well. Cunningham has it up top, being guarded by Carter Jr. in a switch. Coming to his left off the Robinson screen. Bane switched on to Cunningham. He's going to dance with it. Come to his left, spins to his right, down the lane, across the paint, against the contact. Can't get it to go. Long rebound over to Bane. He's going to walk it down the other way. Doesn't want to force things right now early in this game to get over to Suggs. Off the catch, down the lane, in the paint, kicks it out. Jamal Cain, a right wing, right corner three. He got it to go. And that's 2 for 2 from three-point range for the Orlando Magic at 72 to start. And I'll tell you this, when you're at home, the role players tend to shoot better and play better. So Detroit is going to have a tough night here tonight. If they don't get it going early here, again, it's early. It's a 5-point game, 7-2, but it's a fantastic start for Orlando for the most part here. Banchero guarding Cunningham on the right wing, exactly like we called out earlier. And Cade Cunningham going to the rim, draws a foul. That is a foul on Jamal Cain, I believe, coming over on the help side. So Cunningham will go to the foul line for 2. Matt's up. What's up, Matt's up? McDaniels was cooking Jamal all night. He was. But we're not here for Jaden McDaniels right now. We could probably talk about him during some timeouts if you guys want to. You can remind me to bring it up. He was absolutely fantastic. He was fantastic all series long. A career high, by the way, regular season or playoffs in a closeout elimination game down your starting backcourt. Incredible stuff from Jaden McDaniels. Cunningham knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Scoreboard said Carter Jr. needs some light shined on him. He's held Duren to a nothing player all series. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I've been shining the light on Carter Jr. all series long. They're going to need some offensive contribution. With Franz out, I necessarily wouldn't be asking for that from him, but they're going to need it tonight as Cunningham splits the free throws himself, matching Banchero's previous trip to the line. They hand it off to Bane. Bane coming to his right, pump fakes it over to Suggs, back to Bane. Bane, step back, cross-court pass. Carter Jr. right corner three. He's capable, but he misses that one right there. Rebounded by Tobias Harris, bringing it down, picked up by Suggs, coming to his left, off the screen, full head of steam, attacking Carter Jr. to the lane, righty layup, got it to go. The little sky hook across the lane over Carter Jr. And it's a 2-point game just like that. Randy said your game calling is getting unbelievably nice. Appreciate you, Randy. Appreciate you, the compliments. Banchero down the lane, can't get the layup to go against Cunningham. Good job playing defense without fouling. Duren tried to bring it down after the rebound and turns it over as they pick his pocket. And Jamal Cain, who got the steal, dumps it down low to Carter Jr. and he gets a two-handed slam. Really bad decision by Jalen Duren, who gets it over to Cunningham wisely now. Cunningham has it up top, being guarded by Banchero. Coming to his right, picked up by Cain. Cunningham's going to dance with it. Driving it down off the crossover to his right against Carter Jr. Ball knocked loose. He picks it back up over to Harris. Attacking to his left. He's got a lane to the paint. Flips it up and gets the little floater to go down. No, he doesn't. I think All-Star Thompson right there was there with the tip up and in. So Harris missed it, but Thompson with the tip. Suggs gets it over to Carter Jr. on the other end, hands it off to Bane, coming to his right, steps back, pump fakes, gets it over to Carter Jr., trying to get it back to Bane. Bane cutting back door, good defense from Duncan Robinson. No, it wasn't, because now Duncan Robinson gets hit with the foul, holding on to Desmond Bane, trying to cut back door on him. Bruce to Scoreboard, talking about Carter Jr. He certainly has stepped up. I never doubted his talent, which is why I was so disappointed. Or Banchero, but he has immense talent and he's a good kid. I assume we're talking about one of the two guys, I assume. They get it in the Bane. Bane tries to get over to Banchero, knocked into the backcourt. Shot clock winding down. He's going to have to bring it down and heave it. He heaves up a logo three. Way off on that one. Barely grazes the side of the rim. Harris picks up the shallow rebound, bringing it down the other way. Coming to his left off the screen. Dancing with it, coming to his left again. Floater along the baseline. Can't get it to go. No fouls called. Thompson and Suggs battling for it. Knocked out of bounds. It's going to go back to the Magic. And we got just under 8 minutes to go here. Here comes Banchero bringing it down. Has it up top. It's a 2-point game, 9-7. Banchero crosses over to his right, spins off of Thompson, down the lane, leaves it off. Carter Jr. goes up, two-handed slam. And they do have Paolo Banchero and Cade Cunningham guarding each other. Again, it forces the Orlando to have to settle for a couple of mismatches like they have. Who's guarding Harris here? They have Jamal Cain guarding Harris, but they have Banchero guarding Cunningham. They want to put size and strength on him because Cain overmatched in that matchup the other night. Harris coming off the screen, abusing that Jamal Cain matchup. He knocks down a pull-up three coming off a screen from Duren, which is not necessarily Tobias Harris's game since he's come to Detroit, since he went to Philly initially, but he knocks that one down there, dialing it back to his LA Clipper days. Banchero has it up top, being guarded by Thompson, calling for a screen. Picks up his handle, gets it to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. hands it back off to Banchero, pump fakes, trying to blow past Duren down the lane, gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Jamal Cain in the corner, being guarded by Duncan Robinson, and he dribbles it off his own foot. Jamal Cain wanted a reach-in foul, saying he got hit on the wrist, which is why he lost his dribble. They're not going to give him the call. It's going to go back to Detroit, but we're going to get a timeout first. We're going to get a chance to catch our breath here. We got 6:57 to go, exactly approaching the halfway point here, just 5 minutes into the game. Tyreek Smith, what's up, Tyreek? He said, I'm sorry, Chevy, but I still can't get over that Knicks win last night. When I tell a lot of Hawks fans, are salty, they're high sodium salty. I know, brother. I started off the show today talking almost exclusively about the Knicks. I can't get over it either. And nor do I think we should, Tyreek. Nor do I think we should. We are allowed to celebrate. We're allowed to enjoy a historic beatdown by the Knicks against the Atlanta Hawks. You can enjoy it, especially Tyreek, because we can't even prepare for the next series because we don't know who we're playing yet. Because we gotta wait to see the winner of Boston Philly at Game 7 tomorrow. Right? We have to wait. We can't even game plan for the next game yet. So we get the rest, we get the team back. We have nothing to worry about. We have stress-free basketball, Tyreek. We get to enjoy stress-free basketball. We got 3 games tonight. We got games tomorrow. We got Game 7 tomorrow. We got probably games, depending on who ends up forcing a Game 7 here tonight between these 3 teams. Hopefully we have at least one of them. We got games on Sunday. And then the Knicks will be back in action Game 1 on Monday. Right? Game 1 of round 2 is on Monday. We double-checked it. We just checked it before the game started. Game 1 on Monday. Christian Blaze, what's up, Christian? Durston, what's up, Durston? Keith Modeste, Supreme Vader, appreciate you guys. Tyreek Smith, yeah, man, true. I think it's going to be the 76ers. I mean, they have momentum. They've just won 2 in a row. I have this sneaky suspicion. Tatum's already announced it, or the Celtics have already announced Tatum's good to go. He's going to play. I have to think Boston pulls that one out. I don't know. It might be time for Embiid, who is... never won a playoff series against the Celtics, to finally pull one off. But I gotta think that the Celtics will find a way to pull that one off. In my estimation, they are the better team, but also maybe a healthy 76ers team, maybe right on their level. It's hard to tell. Boston has not played particularly well in this series after Game 1, which was a blowout. So I don't know. I don't know. Game 7, anything could happen. And it's at home for Boston. And like we're talking about here tonight with Orlando, the role players for the home team tend to play well. It usually doesn't really matter for the superstar players. But the home player, the home team, usually the home court advantage is that the role players are more comfortable and they will play well. But we'll see. VJ Edgecombe has been a bit of a Celtics killer over there in TD Arena, over there in Boston. So it really could go either way at this point. Thurston said, I bet you're celebrating Knicks win also. I mean, how can you not? Even Hawks fans got to give it up. Christian Blaze, he said, I'm a Celtics fan and I can't believe the East baton has to be handed to the 53-year cursed Knicks. Hey, brother, we trying to end the curse. Let us end the curse. All right? How greedy can you be? What do you got, 18, 19 of them things? Can we get number 3? Can you allow us to get number 3? Can you just step out of the way for a couple of years? We're not even built for like a super long run. We probably maybe got 2 more years max with this core. Hopefully it's longer, but I'm just being realistic. Can you let us get one, brother? Get out of the way already. Greedy. Christian said we're at home, a.k.a. we're highly likely to choke. True. Man, what's up, man? Ty Eagles, what's up, Ty? It doesn't matter who it is. It really doesn't. Boz, what's up, Boz? MBM as always. What's up, MBM? Mick Goggle, what's up, Mick? All right, here we go. We're back into it. Thompson has it up top, being guarded by Suggs. They get over to Duncan Robinson, coming off screen. Bullet pass inside to Duren, who goes up for the two-handed slam. Nice and patient. Waited for the fly-by contest. That was Jalen Suggs, and he goes up strong with the 2 hands. Here comes Suggs bringing it down as Detroit is taking a 1-point lead, 12-11 now. They get over to Banchero. No subs have been made. Dennis Jenkins has come in, by the way. That's the only sub made so far between the two sides. He's coming for Cunningham early. Banchero danced with it against Thompson, gets caught in the air, gets it over to Suggs, left wing, jab step, coming to his left against Jenkins, stops, steps through, in the paint, kicks it out Banchero. Right wing 3, he's got space, but he can't knock it down. Battle for the rebound. Duren, good box out, snags it over to Carter Jr., and now here comes Tobias Harris pushing the other way, picked up by Bane, coming to his left off the screen, dancing with it, coming to his right, pulls it back out, gets it over to Dennis Jenkins, lobs it down low to Duren, catches, layup, got it to go for Jalen Duren, who's asserting himself yet again here tonight. We saw him have a very good first quarter the other night, but then go ice cold the remainder of the game. Let's see if he can keep a more consistent effort here tonight. Banchero in the paint draws the foul, going to the basket. He's going back to the foul line for 2, where he previously split 2 free throws. He's going to get another opportunity here. Jalen Duren up to 6 points? 6 points for him, 3 for 3 from the field, but a really nice 6 points for him. Couple of rolls to the rim, couple of offensive rebounds, tipped up and in. Really nice, solid play for Jalen Duren so far, which is not a great sign if you are a Magic fan here tonight. Nikki, what's up, Nikki? Tay Cowboys, what's up, Tay? Mick said, I see Magic versus Cavs in round 2. Very well could be, which could be an interesting matchup. Tyreek said, if they run the offense through Towns again, I think they can do something with Boston. I do think they match up better versus Boston. I know that sounds blasphemous, but I think they do. Banchero, yet again, splits 2 more free throws. He is 2 for 4 from the line tonight. Something he's going to have to really clean up if they want to pull this victory off at some point. Dennis Jenkins, a baseline pull-up jumper, got it to go over Suggs. They got Dennis Jenkins going. That could be a long night for the Orlando Magic here. Bane rushing it down. They get over to Suggs, back to Bane, swings through to his right, down in the paint, throws up the floater, got it to go down for Desmond Bane. Here come the Pistons. It's a 2-point game. We're well past the halfway point. We had, what was this? What was this gifted thing? From Tommy Spencer. What's up, Tommy? Big ups for the membership. I just got the game message, my bad. Appreciate you, Tommy. It's all right. Appreciate you coming out to hang out with us, brother. Tobias Harris, the left corner 3, gets fouled by Wendell Carter Jr. Wendell Carter Jr. can't believe it. He's not asking for a challenge. I think he's just upset with the soft foul. But if you touch a guy while he's up in the air shooting it, it is a foul. See the replay on it? He's got his hand caught in the cookie jar, and he absolutely fouls him. 3 free throws for Tobias Harris here. Bruce said the Knicks came out like they were facing elimination. Yes, indeed, they did. What did my guy Tommy sent? What was this? I didn't shout it out. Oh, Tommy sent stay hydrated. Appreciate you, Tommy. Appreciate you, brother. Basketball Jones. What's up, Basketball Jones? KP cooking bods. What's up, KP? Duren all of a sudden can score. Yes, indeed. I mean, he's figuring out the matchup a bit here. Just a bit. Nick Yak. What's up, Yak? Ruzande. What's up, Ruzande? Whoever is the same. Is Wagner available tonight? No, he is not, Yak. He's out yet again. Tobias Harris knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Bataze is going to sub in. Jamal Cain is going to sub in. Ruzande said, whoever it is, the same thing is going to happen to them. Let's go, Knicks. It's got to be the mentality for sure. Don't really matter. Ty said, no way the 76ers will have a third game success. That was never going to happen. We'll see, man. We'll see. This is not the same Celtics team that people assumed they were. This is a much younger, much less battle-tested team. The guys who are battle-tested, you got, Tatum, Brown, White, Pritchard. And then outside of that, you got a bunch of dudes who haven't really faced this kind of pressure before. EMC, what's up, EMC? Brandon Ingram is hobbled, true. So, Cavs versus Knicks, but I think the Raptors would be better for the Knicks. Let's go Pistons, Chevy, Detroit in 7. I mean, going off the regular season, which obviously the playoffs are different than the regular season. Harris missed a second free throw, by the way. The Knicks smoked them and played them 5 times in the regular season, beat them by double digits all 5 times, and none of them were particularly close. Bane misses the floater, grabs his own offensive rebound, picks up his handle. He's got nowhere to go, gets it over to Bataze. Bataze in the left corner, being guarded by Stewart. Bataze holds it, hands it off to Anthony Black, who subbed in, coming to his left, step back, pump fake, swings it out to Javon Carter, who's in the game. Carter mishandles it, dives on the floor, and it's a shot clock violation. That's good for the bingo card. Celtics miss Al Horford. Celtics miss some of the vets that they had for sure. They miss Horford. They do miss Porzingis too, who, they got rid of him because he makes a lot of money and they couldn't trust he was going to be healthy. They miss Holiday. Who was a veteran presence, but he just made too much money. I get why they moved off of the guys they did, but yeah, you miss those guys in the locker room. They're battle-tested. They're champions. They've been there before. They played in high-stakes games like this. It's the other guys for the Celtics that you're just not entirely sure are going to be able to show up for you. They get it into Harris in the paint off the backdoor cut, gets blocked by Bataze. Good rim protection from him. It's 17-14. Let's lock back in. 4 minutes to go here in the first. Kane hands it off to Javon Carter. They get it over to Anthony Black. I get why they got Carter in there. They need some guy to generate some offense, and he's capable of knocking down shots. He pump fakes against Cunningham, dribbles into the mid-range, and he knocks down the mid-range shot. Really like this move from Coach Jamal Mosley here. I really like this move from Mosley. I thought about it in the previous game. I didn't mention it, but it did cross my mind for a split second. Like, hey, maybe Javon Carter can give you something. He was nice in the regular season. Let's see if he's got some juice here for the playoffs. Duncan Robinson coming off the screen, misses a 3 badly. Rebounded to Bataze. Here comes Anthony Black, rushing it down, spins off. Mid-range pull-up jumper over Harris. He got it to go, and just like that, Orlando retakes a 1-point lead. 18-17, 3:30 to go here in this first quarter. They get it into All-Star Thompson. He'll bring it down, and Thompson has it on the left wing, being guarded by Bane. Thompson, little unsure of what they want to do, calling for a couple of screens, coming to his right again, driving it down, stops along the baseline, got nowhere to go, gets it out to Robinson. He's going to put up another 3 over Carter. This time he's going to splash it nothing but net. Carter's just too small to really contest it. Duncan Robinson is bigger than you would think. He's about 6'6", 6'7", with a long wingspan, so he could just rise over Javon Carter, who's a good pesky defender, but just doesn't have the size to keep up with him or contest those shots. A double step back 3 from Jamal Cain. He comes up short. Rebounded by Bataze in the paint, flips it up, comes up short. Harris can't snag the rebound. It goes out of bounds. But they say it's off of Orlando? No. They correct the call. It's going to stay here with Orlando. They just pointed the wrong way. It's Orlando basketball, but we got a timeout to go here. 2:50 to go. Dennis Castro, what's up, Dennis? 2 consecutive missed free throws? We haven't had 2 consecutive missed free throws yet. We've had 1-and-1s. Made one, missed the next one, then made one, then missed the next one. The Flea said, Trapped, what's good? Trapped in the 90s? What's up, Trapped in the 90s? Appreciate you, brother. Christian Blaze said, trust me, half the Celtics fan base feel like that too. From the Fleas? What did the Fleas say? What did the Flea say? Rose, what's up, Rose? The Flea said, man, at Boston? Crazy, Christian, crazy. I have been seeing some things bubble up, Christian. Tell me how accurate this is and how much of the fan base feels this way. There's a section of fans, I don't know if it's a vocal minority, if it's half the fan base, if it's a lot of the people in the fan base, who felt like, man, this feels like a wasted year because we're not really able to compete. Probably should have just tanked, considering we knew Tatum coming back, even if he did come back, was not going to be Tatum. And even though he's kind of looked like Tatum, the inefficiency is still there from Jason Tatum, and now a little hampered going into the next game he's going to play. But what do you make of that, Christian? You let me know as a Celtics fan. Give me a barometer of Celtics fans, right? Are you, and where are you in that camp? Are you like, man, probably should have just tanked the year, gotten a better draft pick? What do you feel like? Rated, what's up, Rated? Maths up said, it took Duren 5 games to score more than 10 points. In his best game, he scored 12. Yeah, they've done a great game plan. Their game plan has been around. If we limit Jalen Duren, it doesn't matter what Cade Cunningham does because he doesn't have a second guy to really give him buckets. And it's a pretty smart way to play this Pistons team. TT in the morning, what's up, TT? I feel like I'm going to throw up. Go Pistons. It's a close one, brother. It's a close one. Even if you win tonight, you can have another close one on a Game 7 on Sunday? On Sunday. Sean of a gun, what's up, Sean? Would you rather play Philly or Boston? I already said this already, Sean, but I don't care. I don't care. I'll tell you this. I think the Knicks match up better against Boston, especially this version of Boston that's not shooting well. I think it's a great matchup for the Knicks at that point. But The thing with Philly is Embiid, and Embiid's dirty, man. Embiid's dirty. He's already tried to injure. He already tried and succeeded in taking out Mitchell Robinson once. So I really would rather not have to do that. But in terms of how they match up, I think they match up fine against both of them. Not great. They match up fine. I don't think they're at an advantage or a disadvantage in that series. I think it's pretty evenly matched in terms of the matchups. And I think it'll just come down to who can play their best. And honestly, I would lean the Knicks in both series. Trying to be as objective as possible thinking about it, I'd lean the Knicks in both series. I don't think either of them are going to be easy. Sean said Philly is dirty. I agree. Yeah, I mean, there was conversations about, the Knicks could have possibly played Philly in the first round. I was like, please keep Philly as far away from my Knicks as possible. Guys get injured when you play Philly. LP, what's up, LP? I won the Sixers due to home court. Don't really matter. Knicks going to win it in 5 or 6 anyway. Nick Yak said, would you play Tatum with his calf barking on his flawed team? Yeah, it's an interesting question. He's going to play. They said he's going to play. They said, it is what it is. Would I play him? I don't know. Christian said, maybe at the beginning of the season, Moore wanted us to tank, but I'm not for that when you have JB and a few other all-star potential players. Yeah, I agree with that. I just thought it was weird. I started to see and I thought it was a vocal minority, but I started to see a lot more the other night. Obviously you're going to see a lot more of that negativity when the team underperforms, but I just started to see it a lot. And I was like, is this like a festering kind of feeling in the Celtics fan base? But yeah, I tend to agree with you. Chris. All right, here we go. We're back into it. De Silva has it on the left wing attacking, down the lane, step back, baseline, pull-up, jump over Cunningham. Got it to go for Tristan De Silva. And again, I'm not sure we see a move like that in Detroit, but here in Orlando, the role players got it going, playing with some confidence. Here comes Cade Cunningham bringing it down. Cade being guarded by Banchero yet again. Cade coming to his right. Batase switches onto him. He's going to step back for a 3 over Batase, and he's going to knock it down. Big time shot for Cade Cunningham, who has not been great from three-point range, but in the previous game knocked him down. And here tonight, getting it going with his first made 3 of the night. Banchero bringing it down against Javonte Green across the lane. Throws a bullet pass to De Silva. Swings through across the baseline. Scoop layup with the right hand. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by De Silva. Good rim contest from Isaiah Stewart there, protecting that basket, forcing the miss, and keeping the ball alive. Rated said Dyson tried to injure Mitch last night. He did. He's always a target for opposing teams. He frustrates you, man. He's physical. He's mean. He lets you know about it. Trash talks. Cade Cunningham trying to go 2 for 2 there. Misses that 3 on the left wing after knocking it down on the right wing. Suggs with the rebound, bringing it down. Has it up top, pulls it back out. Gets it over to Banchero. Swings it over to De Silva. Quick catch and 5 from 3. No hesitation. He knocked it down. Could it be the Tristan De Silva game? He is now 2 of 3 from the field, but knocked down both of his jump shots. Just missed the layup at the rim against Stewart, which honestly is a pretty tough decision to make there, considering Stewart is an excellent rim protector. They kick it out. Dennis Jenkins to the left corner 3 trying to answer, and he does just that, knocking down the corner 3. Dennis Jenkins knocking down 2 jump shots is a phenomenal sign for Detroit. And now here comes Suggs. Suggs on the left wing, hands it off to De Silva. De Silva gets it up top to Banchero. Banchero being guarded by Anthony Black. Anthony Black flopping, looking for a call. They don't give it to him. They finally hand it off to him. He has it up top, back to Banchero. Banchero dancing with it against Green. Spins to his right, down the lane, in the paint. Kicks it out. Tristan De Silva, quick catch and 5 from 3. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Long rebound. Green grabs it. Tried to throw the quick outlet. Knocked out of the air by Suggs, but Detroit able to hold on to it. Here comes Cunningham, who has it up top, being guarded by Paolo Banchero. I love that the stars are matched up against each other. You really got to go that way. Dennis Jenkins up top, coming to his right, being guarded by Batase. Jenkins, dancing with it, coming to his left, steps through, down the lane, gets swatted out of there by Goga Batase, and now here comes Anthony Black on the run, throws a lob up top to Suggs, knocked out of bounds by Cade Cunningham, a bad pass from Anthony Black there. And we got 39 seconds to go here. LP said Embiid is fool's gold. At this stage, Knicks won't be fooled as Boston is. Boston really just doesn't have the bigs to defend them. Nimi Keita, not the experience to do so. Vucevic is a turnstile, so they don't really have a ton of options. Luka Garza, good luck. They don't really have the options, whereas the Knicks do. Suggs in the lane, goes right into Dennis Jenkins' chest, knocks him over. I don't think that was a flop. I think that's just Jalen Suggs lowering the shoulder there, knocked Jenkins to the floor, forced another defender to come over, and Suggs dropped it off to Batase for a 2-handed slam. We got a 1-point game here with 15 seconds to go. End of the quarter. Cunningham up top being guarded by Banchero. Coming to his left off a green screen. Suggs switches onto him. Cade Cunningham's going to look to dance. waving everybody away. They show a double team. Cunningham picks up his handle, gets it over to Javonte Green. Extra pass over to LeVert. Pump fake coming to his left, mid-range pull-up jumper, a deep one. Almost banks it in. It was so off, but it rims out, and that'll be the end of our first quarter, 26-25. Very fun game so far. We have a couple of things going on, propping up here on our bingo cards. Let's go through it. We did have a shot clock violation. Where is that at? Let's pull it up. Don't even have it pulled up yet. It is a PSD, Magic Pistons, bingo card. There we go. Bruce said, if we play Philly, we have home court. I'm not too concerned about home court, especially Philly. You guys remember 2 years ago? Knicks versus Philly? How much was that Philadelphia arena filled up with Knicks fans? I think they'll be all right. The Nova Knicks from Philly. You know, Jalen Brunson's very comfortable and very familiar in that arena. Same with Josh Hart. Same with Mikal Bridges. I'm really not too concerned about the home court thing. It's just me, though. By the way, I rectified our 2 consecutive missed free throws prop here. Same player, 2 consecutive missed free throws. I put that caveat in there. If it happens on 2 separate trips to the line, then it happens on 2 separate trips to the line, but it's got to be from the same player. Rated said, this Boston squad is considerably worse than last year's. I do agree with that. I think anybody saying that this Boston squad was, you know, maybe the same or just as good or maybe slightly better than last year's, I think they're slightly worse. I don't think they're markedly worse. Considerably. I think they're, as opposed to last year where I thought they were a fantastic regular season team and maybe just as good, if not better, playoff team, I think this Boston team was a awesome regular season team and a markedly worse, to your point, a considerably worse playoff team, to your point, rated. You know, the difference is stark. And again, I pointed out to the championship caliber players, smart caliber players that they traded away who have been battle tested before. Not having Holiday, not having even a Porzingis. And I know, again, I understand why they traded him because of the health thing. And again, he barely played at all this year again. But Porzingis, and then the Holiday, Porzingis, Horford, a lot of those guys, like you could rely on them in the playoffs to show up when it mattered most. The other guys you're hoping they do because you're not entirely sure yet. You're looking at Jordan Walsh. You're looking at Baylor Shireman. You're looking at Nimi Cade to show up here in the playoffs. You're looking at Nikola Vucevic, who hasn't had a ton of playoff success throughout his career, even though he's a veteran. And while those guys have, to varying degrees in their own way, played well or played poorly or had good games or had bad games or whatever the case may be, you don't know where you're getting from them on a nightly basis. Whereas like Holiday and who, by the way, the defense of Holiday is incredibly lost. Even though like you have good defenders like a Jordan Walsh who stepped up this year, who I think is kind of low-key been one of their better perimeter defenders, especially against point of attack teams. But not having that option of Holiday is just really hurt them this year. I think Holiday's their biggest loss. Holiday's their biggest loss. The team is just different. They're very, very different than they were last year. There's way more ways to exploit this version of Boston than there were ways to exploit last year's version of Boston. LP said, yeah, I remember last year. Good point. All I know is whoever the team is gonna punch them in the mouth right away, no mercy. Absolutely. This team looks locked in. This Knicks team looks locked in. You don't win by 50 by accident. You don't win by 50 and go up by 62 or 61 or whatever it was in a playoff game because you had a good shooting night. This team is locked in. Locked in. And I love that. Corpeck said Hawks had home court last night. So much for home court advantage. I mean, when half your arena is filled with Knicks fans, there is no home court advantage, which is why I'm really not worried about a Philly or Boston. Knicks fans aren't going to, Boston shows out for their games, so. But I'm not worried about Philly playing in Philly at all. EMC said, hey, Chevy, I'm living in Boston. These Celtics fans are extremely proud. Tangy is not going to work. Yeah, for sure. And people here go working 3 jobs injured. They want to win. They can get. Yeah, I get that. I'm not. The organization was never going to do that. They were never going to pivot to that. But I did see a lot of Boston fans saying, like, we should have just tanked this year, considering they're not a contending team. Banchero on the little pick and pop, knocks down the mid-range jumper with Suggs. Nice move to give him a nice, easy look. Here we go, start of the second quarter. Let's lock back in. AP, what's up, AP? Cunningham has it up top, coming to his right off a double screen. Bataze hedges out hard. Cunningham keeps it, swings it over to Duncan Robinson, being guarded by Anthony Black in the corner. Paul Reed wide open for 3. Banchero daring him to shoot it. He obliges. He can't knock it down. Banchero gives him a decent enough contest. And Suggs bringing it down the other way after the Silva rebound. Suggs has it up top, being guarded by LeVert. dancing with it, coming to his left, off the Banchero screen, pulls in two defenders, cross-court pass, Anthony Black, pass fake, takes the baseline, kicks it up top to Banchero, extra pass to Suggs, deep left corner three for Jalen Suggs, he can't get it to go, rebound knocked out to Banchero, he's going to dribble it into the mid-range, swings it out to De Silva's going to pump fake, fly by defense Levert, De Silva goes to the floater and he knocks it down. Tristan De Silva showing up here tonight for 7 points. So far here early in the second. 7 points from De Silva is nice to grab. Here comes Levert bringing it down, he's being guarded by Suggs. 3-point lead for Orlando. They get over to Cunningham, swings through to his right, they show two defenders, they swing it back to Levert, he'll fire up a contested three over Suggs, he throws up a brick, rebounded by Paul Reed, cross-court pass, Duncan Robinson, pump fake, sidestep, throws up the three, comes up short. Paul Reed knocks it out again, but it gets grabbed by De Silva. And they get it over to Paolo Banchero bringing it down. Having Paul Reed in there with Stewart is a really nice wrinkle from JB Bickerstaff. I gave credit to Jamal Mosley going to a couple of minutes of Javon Carter there in the first quarter. I'm gonna give JB Bickerstaff some credit here, going to Paul Reed with Isaiah Stewart here for a couple of minutes. I like that. It's an interesting wrinkle that they're throwing in here. AP said, I'm watching that massacre yesterday. I've never seen anything like that all my years of watching the Knicks. I mean, I listen to all the national podcasts, all the national videos, all the shows, all of it. I listened to almost everything I could, and everybody had the same sentiment, AP. From people who just started watching basketball to people who've been watching basketball for forever. Banchero comes up short on the floater. Batase, the offensive rebound, and puts it back in. Goga Batase playing well tonight. He's had a rough last two games after a nice game three. Supa, what's up, Supa? Villanette TV, what's up, Villanette? Appreciate you, brother. Let's go, Lakers. They get it down low to Paul Reed. Pump fakes, gets fouled by Batase. Should be a foul on the floor here. The thing with Paul Reed, he's not a great rebounder. He's an okay rebounder. Could sometimes be a good rebounder. But Batase, on the previous play, carving out space against him there and able to snag that offensive rebound. Gonna have to lock in on that side. We are under 10 to go. Cunningham has it up top, being guarded by Anthony Black. Coming to his left off the Stewart screen. Batase switches out onto him. Now they scram, switch it back. Cunningham driving to his right in the paint. Double clutches, can't get it to go. Excellent defense from Batase. Paul Reed able to pick up the loose ball. Throws up a righty flip shot. Got it to go. And a lot of pushing and shoving. Batase got knocked off balance. Hold on, we might get a little bit of a fracas here tonight. But Paul Reed knocked down the little tough baseline flip hook shot. I don't even know what to call it. It was a million things. Going to reset the shot clock. A little bit of a time malfunction there. Slim Havoc, what's up, Slim? Great historic victory last night. Let's go, Knicks. Absolutely, Slim. Absolutely. We love those. We love those. History was made, and we got to be a part of history together. I love that. Anthony Black gets it over to Batase, hands it off to Black. Pump fakes, coming to his left, steps back, sets himself up, fires up the three, in and out, can't get it to go. Batase, the offensive rebound in the paint, flips it up off glass, got it to go for Goga Batase. He's working down low, man. Batase having a really nice start to this game. He's already picked up a block. He's had a nice contest against Cunningham. Picks up 2 offensive rebounds and putbacks. Cunningham up top. Dancing around off the Stewart screen. Coming off a Duncan Robinson screen. De Silva switches onto him. Another Paul Reed screen. Banchero switches onto Cunningham. Cunningham's going to dance with it. Coming to his right. In the paint. Stops, turns, falls away over him. Well contested. Can't get it to go. Batase with the rebound. And a loose ball foul on Paul Reed there. Goga Batase is doing the work down there, man. I really like these minutes from Batase right now. And Banchero's going to get a breather, or he's going to stay in the game. They might need a full 48 or 45 plus from Paolo Banchero tonight. He might not have the opportunity to play without him for too much longer, for too long here tonight, especially down Franz Wagner. Lewis, what's up, Lewis? The biggest margin of playoff closing win belongs to the Cavs, 138-83 last year versus Miami. Here comes Suggs bringing it down. Suggs up top being guarded by Danish Jenkins. Crossing over to his left. Driving it down in the lane. Throws up the floater. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Jalen Duren. Duren leaves it off to Tobias Harris bringing it down. Harris picked up by Banchero here. They have Anthony Black guarding Cunningham. He's done a solid job on him. Tobias Harris coming to his right of a couple of screens. Carter Jr. switches onto him. Harris throws it up. Can't get it to go. Looking for the foul. Jalen Duren right there. Can't get the tip up and in. He just smokes a layup. And now here comes Suggs bringing it down. Suggs gets it over to Black. Black blows right past Duren. Down the lane. Scoop layup. Got it to go on the foul for Anthony Black. A foul on Jalen Duren. Oof. And here comes the rough points for Jalen Duren. And it's a lot of what we've seen so far throughout this series. Even though he was able to snag the offensive rebound, he just rushed it and smoked the layup. And then on the other end, can't keep up with the Orlando Magic pushing the pace. Gets cross-matched on Anthony Black and just can't keep up with him as Anthony Black was pushing the pace along the baseline. Able to draw the foul and gets the layup. They give him the continuation and one. He's at the foul line for one more. Bruce said it's a struggle for Detroit to score points. They're showing a lot of bodies to Cade Cunningham right now, and they're like, go ahead, trust your teammates. And right now, Cade Cunningham not really trusting his teammates. He's only got 1 assist, 4 points, 1 for 5 from the field. That one made 3, that's it. That's it. Anthony Black knocks down his and one free throw. It's an 8-point lead for Orlando. We got a little over 8 to go here in the second quarter. Duren on the left wing, high post being guarded by Carter Jr. He's going to drive it down, and the lane throws up with a double clutch floater. Can't get it to go down. Forcing that one right there. Here comes Paolo Banchero off the rebound, pushing it the other way. Has it up top, being guarded by Harris. A step back 3 for Paolo. Can't get it to go. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Duncan Robinson ends up with it. They're trying to tie him up. And it's a jump ball between Carter Jr. and Duncan Robinson. And Carter Jr. just ragdolling him across the court and then rips the ball out of his hands and hands it off to the official. All right, if you want to talk about one team being tougher than the other right now. Jump ball. That's another thing for the bingo card. Matter of fact, let's fill it in. We had a shot clock violation. Where's that right here? And then now we're going to have a jump ball. Where is that? Jump ball is down here. Here we go. So Carter Jr. versus Duncan Robinson seems like it should be an easy one for Orlando, but we'll see. These jump balls always surprise you. Bruce said, uh-oh, this could get away from Detroit quick. It could, but I'm not pushing the panic button yet. Both of these teams can struggle to score at times. So they knock it over to Banchero, they kick it out to Kane, they get over to Bane. Bane ran off the line by Cunningham, down the lane all the way to the paint, and gets an easy scoop layup as nobody comes over for the help. And there's your double-digit lead for Orlando and a timeout for Detroit. Here we go. Man said 76 versus Knicks in the second round. We'll see. We'll be covering Game 7 tomorrow. Can't wait for it. Mark James, what's up, Mark? Let's go Magic, beat the Hawks. Let's go Magic, beat the Hawks. I will be pondering this, brother. Tommy Spencer said, bro, thought on LA contenders or no? Thoughts on LA? The Lakers? They're not contenders. Unfortunately for the Lakers, even if you wanted to make the argument that they were contenders, they're just not healthy. They're missing the best player. No team missing their best players can be labeled a contender. I don't think Luka's even going to be close to coming back. I think even if they make the second round, which I expect them to, find a way to eliminate Houston, whether it's in 6 or 7. Even here's the thing, though. Even if Luka does come back, number one, he won't be 100%, and number two, you're playing the Thunder. So even if you were fully 100% healthy, you still gotta rock with the Thunder in that series, no? So I can't label them a contender. And let's say they shocked the world and they managed to beat the Thunder in the second round. Then you have to go up against what would likely end up being the San Antonio Spurs in the conference finals. They're just not getting past both of those teams, let alone even one of them. Christian said, LA, what? No, they should be lucky to get out of the first round. I do think they'll find a way to get out of the first round, but we'll see. We'll see. If there's any team that's going to give up a 3-0 comeback, it's a hampered team missing their best player that probably shouldn't have been up 3-0 to begin with. TD in the morning said, I'm sick. Game's not over yet, brother. Game's not over yet. Cunningham having a poor shooting night to start, but he'll pick it up. Stars pick it up. He's going to have a nice game tonight. Right? That's what you got to bank on right now. He'll be all right. Nagyak said, can't believe how many easy shots Detroit have missed the last 2 games. You mean like shots around the basket? I disagree a little bit, Yak. I don't know if I would consider any of the shots I've seen them miss tonight easy shots. I actually think they've knocked down a couple of tough contested ones that I'm like, oh, all right, there you go. You got to knock down tough contested ones in the playoffs. But I don't know how many easy shots I would consider the Pistons have missed so far. Same with the Magic. Consider that for both sides. By the way, Banchero 1 for 6, Cunningham 1 for 5. Neither star blazing a path so far here tonight. LP said, Hawks got beat up so bad by our Knicks. There's a petition roaming around to change them to the Atlanta Pigeons. And everybody should absolutely sign that for sure. Bruce said this could get away. It could. I don't think it will, but it could. I don't think it will. I'm definitely on the side of I think this is going to be a close game. I don't predict a blowout here for Orlando. Rotund Calzone said, Chef, is it possible to stop the Orlando hype train? I don't think it's possible to stop the hype train. You should absolutely be hype. You're an 8 seed on the verge of taking down a 1 seed. Should absolutely be hype. 100%. Christian said, I'm rooting for all 3 games tonight to get pushed to 7. I'm with you. I'm kind of rooting for that too. It pisses me off more of the Caesar, the only game 7 of round 1, when we had Philly up 13 in game 5. Yeah. I'm rooting for the Raptors hard. I mean, as a Knicks fan, I'm kind of rooting for Detroit to go down because I think it'd be hilarious after all the trash talk they had during the regular season. But I wouldn't mind in game 7 at all. I really wouldn't. Here we go. We're back into it. Cunningham gets it over to Robinson, over to Thompson, coming to his right in the paint, gets caught in the air, kicks it out to Harris, ran off the 3-point line by Banchero, stops in the mid-range, turns, spins, got nowhere to go. Excellent defense. He turns over Banchero, and he throws up an air ball, and it's out of bounds going back to the Magic. Paolo Banchero is now shutting down Tobias Harris, who's now 2 for 7. Excellent defense from Banchero there on a couple of possessions against Harris. Suggs gets it up top to Banchero, who's been off tonight. Same with Cade Cunningham. 1 for 6 for Banchero, 1 for 5 for Cade Cunningham. Banchero up top, driving to his right. Stops. Cunningham picks his pocket, but Suggs able to pick it up. Suggs has it up top. Suggs, rhythm dribble, step back 3. Got it to go for Jalen Suggs. Wow, a 13-point lead now. And I'll tell you what, a 13-point lead in this series feels like a 50-point lead. It feels like, honestly, a 13-point lead, a 10-point lead, a double-digit lead, feels like a 20-point lead with how difficult offense has been to come by. But Cade Cunningham calmly gets to the mid-range and knocks down a jumper about 8 feet away from the basket, and it's back to 11. Approaching the halfway point. Timer, you got to keep up, timer. And it was that Desmond Bane a step back 3? Desmond Bane a step back 3 getting in on the 3-point party here. 1 by Suggs, now 1 by Bane, back-to-back. Jamal Cain on Cade Cunningham. He's telling Jalen Duren, get away from me. I'm too big for this guy. And he really is. He spins off of him. They show 2. They kick it up top to Harris. They're catching fire straight away. He can't get it to go. Rebounded by Suggs. And we're pushing the other way. Jalen Suggs has it up top, being guarded by Cunningham. Suggs inside the Banchero against Harris, pulling his way to the basket. Kicks it out. Carter Jr. trying to make it a trifecta. And he does! Carter Jr. getting in on the party. And it's a 17-point lead for Orlando as the crowd is going to start raining it down over Detroit. Can they hold on? They leave it off to Harris. Harris, you just got to survive this run from Orlando, and you got to be able to strike back. Hang on the ropes, Detroit. Hang on the ropes. Take the blows. They hand it off to Robinson. Pump fakes, attacking in the lane. Kicks it out. Harris right off the line by Banchero. In the paint, Euros. Past the defense, and he flips it up and banks it in on the little flip layup attempt there. And it's down to 15. Here comes Bane pushing the other way. Bane has it up top, being guarded by Cunningham. Bane calling for a screen, coming to his left, pump fakes from about 30 feet out over to Banchero, being guarded by Harris. Cunningham switches on to him, cross-court pass. Wendell Carter Jr. pump fakes from 3 and gets fouled by Jalen Duren. And Jalen Duren continues to be in a bit of a mess. A bit of a mess for Jalen Duren. He's got 6 and 5 tonight. He's missed his last 2 shots. Both of them in the paint, obviously. Doesn't really take shots outside of the paint. Bruce Fowler said, I'm seeing panic. 15-point game. But like I said, if you're Detroit, your mentality has to be, all right, we got to hang on the ropes, take these hits, rope-a-dope them a little bit. And a turnover from Orlando. A bad pass from Suggs on the inbound. Tried to throw a lob from the inbound up to Jamal Cain. Pass was way off. It ends up soaring out of bounds. Cain was looking at Suggs like, what was that? Here comes Cade Cunningham bringing it down against Cain. Cade Cunningham coming to his right and gets fouled by Jamal Cain. Overly aggressive there. For the record, he said, LA is contentious, not contenders. Don't disagree. Bruce Fowler said, Detroit can shoot the percentage to trade baskets. I mean, really the only guy they could rely on from three-point range is Duncan Robinson. They're not giving him any space to fire it away. They're running him off the line. Cade Cunningham, crossover mid-range jumper, comes up short, long rebound. Thompson picks it up, gets it back to Cunningham. Pump fakes from 3 against Banchero, driving to his left in the paint. Throws up the lefty layup, got it to go for Cade Cunningham. Nice, strong move there. Nice, calm, cool, and collected for Cade Cunningham. He gets it back down to 13. Here comes Suggs pushing it the other way. Suggs, through the defense, scoop layup, can't get it to go, and a blocking foul on Duncan Robinson. I assume they're going to say he was in the restricted area, or he may have slid under Jalen Suggs as he was rising up. Got to show us the replay on that. They called the blocking foul. Looked like Duncan Robinson was there. Let's see it. Jalen Suggs splits the defense. He's out of there, but he is So the reason why I do think this is a blocking foul on Duncan Robinson is because Duncan Robinson, he beats him to the spot, but he's not on balance, and he continues moving a little bit, and he ends up taking a step back as Jalen Suggs is coming into him, and that is where it is a blocking foul. You got to establish that position, and he did not establish position. He beat him to the spot, but he wasn't established. And so I think that's a good call. I think it's a blocking foul. Suggs knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Tay Cowboys reminding people to like button. Appreciate you, Tay. If you guys are in the show, in the stream enjoying the show, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Like the stream. I'd very much appreciate it. We got a 14-point lead here for Orlando. Just under 5 to go. Jalen Suggs knocks down both free throws. 16-point lead, or 15-point lead. I can't do math. 15-point lead. 49-34. Tobias Harris bringing it down against Jamal Cain. Cain knocks the ball out of bounds. They're just hounding them. Full court defense. 16 on the clock. They can't inbound this into the backcourt. They can't. They cannot. Christian said they got to step up their defense. Not one single steal or block with 4 minutes. Stop that timer. With 4 minutes left in the second quarter is kind of unusual. Kind of unusual for Detroit. It is. It is. You're right. They got to step up their defense. They do. I think they're losing confidence, though. I think their offensive inequities right now are making them lose confidence defensively. Thompson has it up top, swings it over to Dennis Jenkins. Cade Cunningham's out of the game. This is a huge moment here for Orlando and for Detroit. Can Detroit hang still? As Tobias Harris knocks down a tough contested shot over Anthony Black. Those are the shots they're going to end up with without Cade Cunningham. It could be a long time here. Is Paolo also out? Paolo is also out. So the two stars take a bit of a breather here. I suspect it's not going to be for long. But this is a huge moment for the Pistons. See if they can still hang here. And it's a moving screen on Wendell Carter Jr. That one looked like a message. Carter Jr. he has no reaction to it. He leans in and delivers a forearm shiver, a shoulder block to Dennis Jenkins there. Knows it's a moving screen. They called it. He just turns around and walks back to the other end of the court. No reaction, no contest, no nothing. He said, yep, I did that. I think a little bit of a message there from Carter Jr. I kind of like it. Dennis Jenkins up top. Gets it over to Duren, being guarded by Carter Jr. He has to catch it out by the logo behind the three-point line for Jalen Duren just to receive the ball. They hand it off to Jenkins, dancing around the screen. A deep straightaway three. Comes up short on it. Battle for the rebound, knocked out of the air. Cain picks it up, and we're pushing the other way. Carter Jr. is hustling his butt down, knowing Jalen Duren is stuck under the paint. He's trying to get positioning on Tobias Harris. They swing it over to Anthony Black. Anthony Black on the left wing to get it back to Bane. They couldn't get it down low to him. Bane is calling for a screen and roll. They go screen it, so Bane one-on-one against Javonte Green, crosses over down the lane, tough floater, can't get it to go, long rebound, loose ball, De Silva digs it out over to Bane, back to De Silva, pump fakes from three, gets it up top to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. waving De Silva through, he says, let me get it to Bane, hands it off to Bane, Bane coming to his left, shot clock winding down, he's going to throw up a contested three, he's going to knock down a contested three over Dennis Jenkins. He couldn't even hold the follow-through because Dennis Jenkins' hand was right there. Thompson on the right wing attacking, going along the baseline, pulling his way to the basket, got the layup to go. Why Thompson can't do that a little bit more often, I'll never know. Here comes De Silva, who'll bring it down against Javonte Green. Tristan De Silva has it up top. Tristan De Silva keeps it, gets it over to Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane coming to his right. Gets to the mid-range, puts up the jumper over Thompson. He rattles it in. Desmond Bane at home is saying, let's move on to the second round, y'all. It's a 16-point lead here for Orlando. Thompson on the left wing attacking De Silva, kicks it up top to Duren. Where's Jalen Duren and the Cade Cunningham-less lineups? They hand it off to Harris, and they call a moving screen on Dennis Jenkins. Jamal Cain staying connected to Tobias Harris, forcing Jenkins to set that moving screen. Where is Jalen Duren in these non-Cade Cunningham lineups? I know where Desmond Bane is in the non-Paolo Banchero lineups. He's stepping up. He's up to 15 points here tonight on 6 for 8 from the field. Where's Jalen Duren? Hasn't even taken a shot since Banchero went to the bench. We got 2:30 to go here. Christian said Bane must have 3 threes now. Is a good point. Let's look it up. Let's look up the box scores just in relation to where we're at. We won't analyze the box scores or anything like that, but let's look it up in relation to where we're at with our bingo card. So Christian's asking the question about Bane, and Desmond Bane has 3 threes. There it is. 3 for 3 from three-point range. He loves shooting down here in Orlando. 3 threes for Desmond Bane. Where's Bane? Where's Bane's props? All the way up in the corner. There you go, brother. Up there. What do we got up here? AP with a very generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. Said Detroit basketball can't ask for a better end of the week. Yep. There goes AP. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, AP. Boston going to Game 7 and ending up losing at home is going to be hilarious. If it happens. If it doesn't happen, beating Boston 2 years in a row will be hilarious. Right? They won't have anything to say. Right? They got all the excuses about last year. Weren't healthy. Guys, playing through injury. Okay, you want to give those excuses? Okay. All right. Here's your run back. Here's your run back this year. Right? If you make it. If you even make it. Just that said, white flag. AP said, I think Boston is going to lose. I kind of do too, AP. I kind of do too. Momentum is swinging heavy towards Philly. But a Game 7, all of that goes out the window, in my opinion, in the Game 7. And the team with more Game 7 well, I can't even say that because it's not the full team. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, if there's anybody who's got to pull off a Game 7, honestly, Jaylen Brown, who's kind of had a bit of a rough series here in round 1 after, plenty of people that I didn't agree with were shouting from the rooftops, Jaylen Brown, top 5 MVP candidate this year. I was like, I don't know about that. And he hasn't really shown up in this playoff series to the degree that an MVP candidate should. So if there's any time for Jaylen Brown to step up and be like, I got us, Game 7's got to be it. I've seen Jason Tatum do it, which is why I've always considered Tatum, when fully healthy, obviously post-Achilles, we'll see how these guys play out, and Jaylen Brown took a step up this year, so that conversation is wide open as to who's the best player on the Celtics again. But I always considered it Tatum because I've seen Tatum, when push comes to shove, who's the go-to guy, right? Even last year against the Knicks, what was it, Game 5? Game 4? Game 4, in the Garden. Who's the go-to guy? Who's the guy leading the way for the Celtics? It's Jason Tatum, going band for band with Jalen Brunson. One of the best superstar duels we've seen in recent memory. Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson going at it. Right? They've been throwing up the stats recently because the last time the Celtics and the 76ers played a Game 7, Jason Tatum went off for 51 and pulled off that victory. So when push comes to shove, the best player on the team is showing up in Jason Tatum. Now, obviously, this year it's completely different because of Tatum injury, coming off of it, Brown stepping up this year in a different way. Christian Blake said, yeah, JB had a terrible Game 7 at home versus Miami. Another thing, if there's any time for Jaylen Brown to step back up after a not-so-great series here against Philly, is right now in Game 7. Game 7's got to be the time for him to do so. JB needs a 30-plus game and hit his free throws, staying aggressive tomorrow for us to have a shot at round 2. I completely agree. I think he's the guy that's got to lead the way. My guy AP with another generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. We'll read it in a second, but we got game going on now. Banchero up top, crosses over to his right, down the lane, goes through the defense, gets the lefty layup to go over Duren. What an attack from Paolo Banchero as they push the lead to 18, 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Green hands it off to Harris, back to Green. Thompson, not Green. Thompson has it up top. They get it over to Cunningham. Swings through to his left off the Duren screen. Tries to snake it back to his right hand. They try to get it up top to Thompson. Loose ball. Javonte Green picks it up back to Thompson. He's going to drive it down and attack. Stop, turn, spin, cross-court pass. Harris, right corner three, fading out of bounds. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Anthony Black as the shot clock expired. That's the shot they end up with it. Not good. They get it to Desmond Bane. Up top to Banchero being guarded by Jalen Duren. I think Banchero's waving everybody through, saying, everybody get the heck out of my way. I got Jalen Duren on me. Paolo Banchero, rhythm dribble, pull-up jumper, got it to go. Paolo Banchero getting it going now. He's starting to heat up here. Cade Cunningham, he's going to have to heat up. He's 3 for 8 from the field. Paolo's now 3 for 8 from the field as well. They're both going at it here. Thompson down the lane, can knock down the lefty floater. He's looking for a foul. He doesn't get it. Brother, you got to look to finish these baskets, not look for the officials for help. Paolo Banchero, full head of steam to the rim, draws a foul against Tobias Harris. He's going to the foul line for 2. Paolo Banchero has said, I'm a star. Anybody doubting me? This is what I'm doing. And I have said for the longest time, Paolo got to stop settling for those mid-range jumpers. And you're seeing it here in this playoff series, what it could look like. Full head of steam, going to the rim. He's averaging 10 free throws a game. He's back at the foul line for 2 here. Brother, knock down your free throws. He's 2 for 4 tonight. SC with the SC. My Magic might do it. They're on the verge, SC. They're on the verge. My guy AP, what'd you say, brother? Well, Banchero shoots his 2 free throws. These Pistons fans have them in the conference finals. Ain't that something? You should have heard them more here in the other channels. They are steps. Here's the thing, AP. We covered so many Pistons games this year, non-Knicks games. We covered so many Pistons non-Knicks games this year, and they were by far the weirdest fan base I interacted with. Of all 30 NBA teams, they were by far the weirdest. They were talking about their team as if they won the championship last year and they were defending it. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. We have the best record in the regular season." I'm like, okay, guys, like your team's good. Have confidence in your team, but this is weird. It's a weird mentality to have, and it was very weird interacting with them. But you know, they got a taste of what it's like to have expectations. Cunningham misses the step back jumper. Jalen Duren in the paint draws a foul. No, he was out of bounds. No foul call. He was out of bounds. Ball back to Orlando. Banchero knocked down both of the free throws, by the way. You have 46 seconds to go. Stars said Detroit getting exposed. Getting exposed against the team missing arguably their best player, and if not, their second best player at worst. Missing at worst their second best player. And you're down 22 points in the first half here. 36 seconds to go. Banchero up top being guarded by Harris. He's starting to feel it a little bit here. He's dancing with a step back three. If that goes in, throws up an air ball. Rebounded by Thompson. Thompson bringing it down. Jalen Suggs chases him down and picks up the steal. Excellent job by Banchero. No, they call it kick ball. They're going to keep it with Detroit. They call a kickball. Paolo Banchero knew Jalen Suggs was in pursuit. All he did was kind of reach in just to slow down Thompson enough, forced him to make a little crossover move, gave Suggs just enough time to chase him down, knock the ball loose, and come up with a steal. But unfortunately for Jalen Suggs in the Magic here, they call a kickball on Jalen Suggs. Nick Yak said Atlanta fans close second. I always give the benefit of the doubt when the playoffs come around because, of course, you're going to talk your trash and you're going to be confident in your team. But the Pistons were doing this for regular season games, which was always weird. Atlanta fans, I give playoff fan bases the benefit of the doubt once the playoffs roll around. Cunningham has it up top being guarded by Anthony Black. Crossing over to his left, and they call a foul. Looks like on Desmond Bane. Are they in the bonus? They're not in the bonus yet. They had a foul to give. So still side out of bounds for the Pistons. Jason said Atlanta fans were just feeling themselves for a minute when they were up 2-1. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel, Jason, too. You know, they went up 2-1 in the Knicks. Talk your smack. I get that. Every team, every fan base is going to do that when your team is succeeding like that. Duncan Robinson throws a cross-court pass to nobody. And Detroit is floundering right now. They have 38 points. Likely for the remainder, they're going to end this first half with 38 points. It's only their sixth turnover. Orlando's got 4. It's not like they're turning the ball over like crazy. It's going to be interesting going through these halftime box scores right now. Rose said Lakers playing hero ball. They don't really have a ton of options, Rose. They're down their best player and probably their second best player, and their third best player is 41 years old. So Banchero up top, coming to his right. Shot clock, winding all the way down in the paint, kicks it out. Desmond Bane, pump fakes, throws it up at the buzzer. Comes up well short. Well contested by the Pistons. It was a sloppy pass. Banchero got surrounded in the paint, had to kick it out last second. Bane, good pump fake, couldn't get it through. But good defense from the Pistons. That'll end our first half right there at 60-38. It's a 22-point lead for the Orlando Magic here at home. Everything's on their side. We have 24 minutes of basketball left. This game is not over yet. Not over yet, but obviously, time not on the side of Detroit. But a comeback is 1,000% possible. Ian Irvin Canacia, what's up, Ian? What happened to Detroit? I don't think anything really happened to Detroit. I think they had limitations on the roster, and part of the reason why they were so successful in the regular season was they took it extremely serious. They played hard every single night, and they treated the regular season as the playoffs, and they sprinted through the regular season. And they're again caught in the playoffs against another team that suddenly is like, oh, we have to play with playoff intensity and we can game plan against you? Okay, we're going to take away everything you want to do. And then the Pistons don't have a ton of answers. They have a very limited roster. You know, when your second option is Tobias Harris here, you know, what are you going to do with that? 4 for 11 from the field for 10 points. Here tonight is the second option. Cade Cunningham, your first option, 3 for 9 from the field for 8 points. What happens if Cade Cunningham has a not-so-great shooting game? We've seen that already. You fall down 3-1. That's what happens. Star said, on the bright side, at least the Pistons aren't getting done like New York did Atlanta. Yet. Now, I mean, I would be very surprised if we saw history like that happen again. AB said, I love it. I can't wait for the Objective Knicks fans show tonight. Let's see Detroit Pistons fans calling now. Yeah, man. Yeah. Sarka, what's up, Sarka? How did the Pistons win 60 games? They played hard every single night. They treated the regular season like statement games. Every game was very important. The big games they got up for and treated them like the playoffs, whereas other teams were like, oh, this is a big, important game. Let's show up and play hard. Well, the Pistons were like, we're going to scratch and claw and treat this as if it's a playoff game. And I think they they're big, they're powerful, but in a playoff setting, there is no hiding. There is no on to the next team. There is no, we only have you for one night. So, our game plans against each other are kind of they're going to be very surface level, the game plans, right? Whereas in the playoffs, it's like, no, we can sit down and we can analyze your film and we can take everything away from you. And this is usually how the playoffs go. And this is why the best teams end up winning. The best team usually ends up winning the championship. And the only time it doesn't happen is if injuries play a part in the playoffs, which they usually do. But the reason why the best teams end up winning the playoffs. Whereas like in other sports, it doesn't necessarily happen that way, which is why people consider the NBA the most predictable league in the NBA in terms of who's going to win, because the best teams win, right? There's a reason for that. In the NFL, it's a one-game elimination. So you could have a poor passing night, weather could play a factor, you could have a bad injury at the wrong time, any of those things could happen. And one game and you're out, right? So the NFL can be pretty dang unpredictable, where usually one of the better teams end up winning, but it could be pretty unpredictable. You could also get hot going into the playoffs, which leads me into the MLB and in baseball. A team could just get hot going into the playoffs, and suddenly if they're hitting at a rate that they didn't really hit in the regular season, but they're hitting now during the playoff run, and it's like, oh, yep, now you can't even pitch against us. And that's how you could get upsets in baseball. In the NBA, in a 7-game series, there is no hiding your weaknesses. Teams will exploit your weakness, and you need to have countermeasures for that. The Pistons don't have a lot of countermeasures, and they had an opportunity to improve their roster because their countermeasures were very, very obvious. They don't have another ball handler outside of Cade Cunningham. They don't have a ton of shooting, really only have Duncan Robinson. They don't really have a deep bench, a guy to go to get hot. Karis LeVert, they're relying on him. They had very, very obvious deficiencies that everybody knew was going to come back to bite them in a playoff setting. That's not necessarily going to bite you in a playoff in the regular season because it's a different team every single night. And so, like I said, the game plans are very surface level in the regular season. But come the playoffs, it's like we're taking away everything you want to do. We're going to force you to your second and oftentimes your third option, and we're going to try and highlight all your weaknesses, right? And you need to have countermeasures for that, and Detroit doesn't have a ton of them. Like, their countermeasure to not really having a secondary ball handler is Karis LeVert and Dennis Jenkins. That's not going to fly in the playoffs when we can game plan against those guys, right? And the pressure is on, and those guys have never really been in situations like that, right? Well, we can get by with Duncan Robinson because he can get hot from three. Well, we're not going to allow him to get hot from three because he's not going to have any open looks when you don't have any other shooters, right? All-Star Thompson can't make a shot outside of a layup. He can't even knock down floaters and mid-range jump shots. Okay, we're going to not guard this guy. We're going to hang out in the paint and force him to knock down those shots or take those shots or take threes. And we're going to pack the paint. And by packing the paint, we can load up on Jalen Duren, who oftentimes can move too quickly, who doesn't make the greatest decisions. He's 22 years old. He's got time to grow. But he can be frustrated. He can be annoyed. He can have his confidence taken away from him. And suddenly he's not even really looking at the basket. He took 5 shots. He's got 6 points. Those came in the first quarter. He played an entire second quarter, and he's got nothing going on. He's not even looking at the basket. He had one move where he had it out by the three-point line, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to go get me a basket. And he isolated and threw up a tough contested shot against Wendell Carter Jr. because Wendell Carter Jr. knows the 3 moves that Duren has developed right now throughout his NBA career. And again, he's young. He's going to keep growing. But Carter Jr. knows all he really has is maybe a between the legs crossover to his left to a spin back to his right hand. And he guarded that move exactly. And Duren came up and was like, oh, snap, Carter Jr. is here, and double clutched a wild layup attempt that was way off. And now the confidence throughout the series, because that has consistently happened throughout the series, is sapped away from Jalen Duren. And now when Cade Cunningham goes to the bench and they have Jalen Duren in, and during the regular season, they could survive the non-Cade Cunningham minutes. As a matter of fact, even push the lead oftentimes when Cade Cunningham went to the bench, because they could rely on Jalen Duren because the confidence was high, game plans weren't as specific against him, and he could just overpower other matchups. Whereas like here tonight, you got Carter Jr., who's matching your physicality. You got Bataze, who's matching your physicality. You got Paolo Banchero hanging out in the paint. You got oftentimes like a guy like Jalen Suggs hanging out in the paint because he's guarding All-Star Thompson. He doesn't have to guard him out on the perimeter. And now Jalen Duren suddenly doesn't have any room to operate. He's not confident in his shot. He's not confident in any of his moves because Carter Jr. knows all the moves he can go to because he has a limited number of moves right now because, again, he's early in his career. But that's what happened to the Pistons, right? And so ultimately, who's the other guy who can generate even a decent look for themselves? It's Tobias Harris. If you're relying on Tobias Harris in a 7-game series, you've already lost. You've already lost. Unfortunately for the Pistons, they had an opportunity at the trade deadline. Everybody was saying it. Everybody. The biggest Pistons hater you could find in the world said, hey man, if the Pistons want to do anything in the playoffs, which they probably should because the East is wide open this year, the Celtics will be better next year. Jason Tatum will be back, hopefully fully back 100%. Jaylen Brown took the rise this year, so he's going to be awesome next year again. Derek White, this is a down year for him. They're going to add to their roster. Their young players are going to be a year better. Shireman, Walsh, Ugo Gonzalez. Those players are going to be better. They're going to have draft picks they're going to bring in. Maybe they can make a splash. They have free agency they can make moves in. Right? Celtics will be better next year. The Knicks, they'll still be great. They're going to make, marginal moves around the roster. The young players will be better. What will Mo Diawara look like? You got Jeremy Sohan in the mix there. Tyler Kolek will be better. Maybe they can make some offseason moves. Yeah, they got to sign some guys back. Who knows what they'll look like next year. But, they'll be there. This was your year. This was everybody's year. If you were in the East, this was your year. You're like, okay. Pacers will be back next year. I forget about the Pacers at times. Pacers will be back next year. There's a decent chance they have a lottery pick. Top 4 pick. Right? And the Pistons were just... And the general manager came out and said, which honestly would drive me crazy if I was a Pistons fan, came out and said, but we wanted to utilize this year as to analyze who the young players on our team are worth keeping. And it's you should know that already. You should know that. You were in the playoffs last year. You should have last year's series against the Knicks to evaluate who stays and who goes further beyond, right? Ron Holland is getting DNP CDs. He was your 5th overall pick 2 years ago. It's in his 3rd year. Still doesn't have a jump shot. You already have All-Star Thompson, who's a better version of him. Right? And now you're put in a position where I guess you go into the next season with Ron Holland, and then maybe if it's not working out still, if he still hasn't developed that jump shot, he hasn't made the improvements you need him to make, maybe you start putting him in trade negotiations. But at that point, he's lost a ton of value because now you got to pay Ron Holland. TT in the morning, resident Pistons fan. The Pistons head office planned to use this year as a measuring stick. Very bad idea. Yep, just talked about that. But by the time the trade deadline arrived and looking where the Pistons were at the time and did nothing. Yeah. Yep. Just talked about that in the sense that they wanted to analyze this playoff run to see who's worth keeping and who's worth going. And it's you were the number 1 seed all year. You were flying through the regular season. We all knew, it was very obvious, the limitations of this Pistons team. And that it probably wasn't going to lead to playoff success. And they stood pat at the deadline. You didn't even have to mortgage the farm. You didn't even have to mortgage the farm to improve this team. Matter of fact, you probably could have used just a bunch of picks to snag just another ball handler. Just another ball handler. Remember, they could have had Kobe White, who's available, for a 1st-round pick. And maybe Dennis Jenkins. Would you rather Kobe White or Dennis Jenkins in this playoff series? They could have had, maybe Kobe White's a little too expensive. You could have had Ayo Dosunmu, who went for 4 second-round picks, and Rob Dillingham. You could have had Ayo Dosunmu, who had 43 the other night. TT in the morning said, I don't see how they look at their season this year and say, nah, we're good. Everybody was saying it at the deadline, man. Trade deadline, I'm watching all the shows. I'm listening to all the podcasts. I'm watching all the internet shows. And everybody's saying the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Pistons would be wise to make a move here. It doesn't have to be the huge swing for the fences home run. Let's trade for an all-star. Let's trade for Anthony Davis. Let's trade for this guy. It doesn't have to be that. Their one move was trading for Kevin Huerter. You traded for a guy in the Bulls. Get Ayo Dosunmu. Get Kobe White. Throw in a couple of draft assets. You're not going to throw in all of your draft assets. Throw in a couple of draft assets to get Kobe White, to get Ayo Dosunmu. You traded with the Bulls. You were negotiating with the Bulls. The conversation must have came up. Now, this game is far from over. It feels like I'm giving the obituary to the Pistons season, but they are down 22 at halftime here. It's not going their way. TT in the morning said I was too. Lano Mona is up. Lano, Pistons wanted the Knicks. They won't make it that far. Yeah. And every time I did Pistons game and Pistons fans would come in the chat and they'd be like, we're going to kill the Knicks in the playoffs. We're going to kill the Knicks playoffs. And my response was always like, hey, look, man, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. Because they're not going to match them in the first round. Maybe they'll match them in the second. Maybe we'll have to wait till the conference finals. But at that point, both teams will have to make it to that point to match up against each other. Right? Celtics fans were also kind of saying that to the Knicks this year. We'll see you in the playoffs. Can't wait to see you in the playoffs. We want revenge for last year. Okay, we're not going to play in the first round. You better be more concerned about making it out of the first round. Like me as a Knicks fan, I'm concerned about making it out of the first round. One round at a time. Jason said, unfortunately, the obituary is writing itself. 1, 2, 3, Cancun is crazy. Astor Cat, what's up, Astor Cat? Cunningham wants to go on vacation. I don't think Cunningham wants to go on vacation. These other guys might. Jalen Duren might want to go on vacation. He doesn't look too interested in this one. Here's the thing with Jalen Duren. He just has to play harder. Oftentimes, the camera pans over to Jalen Duren. He's got a little bit of sweat to him. But the camera pans to these other guys, and they're dripping with sweat. They are sweat is pouring off their face. They're playing so hard. Jalen Duren, he's got a couple of sweat droplets going on. Brother, that ain't good. That ain't playoff basketball. That ain't good enough. Sconberg said, when you are the first and the whole broadcasting networks are hyping you up, telling you Cade is an MVP, send the feel yourself. They were too close to the elephant. Their front office gets paid very, very handsomely to not be in that position. They're not fans. They're people in the building making these decisions. And if that's the case, then you would have to move on for them. I don't think that's the case. I think they just fundamentally had a misread of their situation. Pistons could have made a finals run. And right now, it doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel it very close at all. SC said, no bingo tonight? We do have bingo going on. But I spent way too much time ranting. I apologize. Vic P. Sonoma just got here. What happened? 22-point game. 22-point game. Sarka said, Kobe White was so cheap. Colin Sexton in 2 seconds. Yeah. I would assume it was 4 second-round picks and Rob Dillingham, who's a bust so far. Hopefully he revives his career, but was a bust. He had no value. As a matter of fact, he probably had to add 2 second-round picks just to get them to be like, please take Rob Dillingham off our hands. They were available. William Yan, what's up, William? Spotty T, New York Knicks over the field. I hope so. T in the morning said, I think the head office didn't care personally. You know, that's you. You would know better than me, but I have to believe that they should know better. I have to believe that they know better, unfortunately. Scomberg said, you might remember Isaiah Thomas was our GM. We know what it feels like to have bad GMs. Oh, yeah. How about Phil Jackson? How about Scott Perry and Steve Mills? Absolutely. Keep Crying Hughes said Duren too stiff. He might have to drop a little bit of weight. You know, oftentimes skinny players come into the NBA, and the first instinct from a lot of people is to be like, oh, that guy's got to put on a ton of muscle and a ton of weight. And it's like, they got to put on muscle and weight, of course. But I think the thing that you often need to really worry about is adding strength. The weight thing will, you need to add a little bit of weight, of course, as well. As you grow into an adult, grown man body, you need to add the proper amount of weight to yourself. But you don't want to bulk up too much because you want to keep the flexibility as a basketball player. If you look at like the best athletes in NBA history, like they're pretty, for their builds, they're pretty slender. Like even LeBron's pretty slender. He's not stacked. He's not standing there like this. LeBron's pretty flexible. He's pretty slender. And he's probably one of the bigger guys in that regard. And I'm talking about wings, I'm not necessarily talking about centers. Maybe I should be talking about centers because of Jalen Duren. But here we go, start of the third quarter. Next time out, we'll go through and break down the box score and everything. I said that was going to be interesting to break down at halftime. We didn't even get to it because I was too busy ranting about what's going on with this Pistons team. Because honestly, down 22, that conversation needs to be had. Bane misses the floater to start the half. Here comes Thompson, shot out of a cannon, pushing the pace. They know they need to go quickly. Throws up a lefty floater, doesn't get it to go. Arms up against the official. Brother, make a basket. Stop worrying about whether the official calls a foul or not. And a foul on Duncan Robinson knocking over Jamal Cain, and Robinson can't believe the call. Sean of a Gun said, "Is the next game Monday?" The next game is Monday, Sean. The next game is Monday. Whoever it is. Sconberg said, "To be fair, they looked awesome all year. I was a little worried." They looked awesome all year, but again, playoffs are different than the regular season, and we try telling the Pistons that all the time. Your deficiencies will be exploited in the playoffs, and you need countermeasures for it, and they didn't have one, nor did they go out to acquire one. By the way, Kevin Huerter, you had to play tonight. Your big trade deadline acquisition. Paolo Banchero dancing with it against Duren. Step back. Gives it over to Bane. Pump fakes. Bane driving it in to the paint. Wild scoop layup. Got it to go. What a beautiful move. Came up all the way around. Finished. Jumped from the left side of the rim. Finished on the right side of the rim. What a beautiful scoop layup for Desmond Bane there. Getting past the defense to avoid the contest. And Cade Cunningham dribbles it off his own foot out of bounds. Ball back to Orlando. Not looking good, y'all. It's not looking good. Bonita Crandon. What's up, Bonita Crandon? Good night. Good night to you. Sconberg said, getting rid of Ivy was a bad move. I mean, considering what was going on with Ivy, I think they wanted out of the Ivy business for reasons that does not have to do with basketball. Banchero runs through All-Star Thompson there and gets hit with a charge. The problem was not improving your team beyond that. Bruce Fallis said, who's Detroit's GM? I don't like Biggerstaff, but now I can tell what kind of coach he is with this one-trick pony. Who's the GM? Who's Detroit's GM? TT in the morning. Who's the GM? Langdon? Trajan Langdon? Right? Robinson gets fouled by Bane on a reach-in foul, so side out of bounds for Detroit. Trey Langdon, yeah, that's who I thought. TT in the morning said they're unmotivated and moving sluggish. Yeah, it feels like they're losing confidence pretty heavily here. If Detroit wants to make this comeback, it's got to start with their defense. And I think Yak pointed out earlier, and we'll check again at the box scores. No steals or blocks so far here tonight. Not picking up stocks. Cade Cunningham, a tough contested fall-away jumper over Carter Jr. gets it to go down. Those are the shots, I said it before, if those are the shots you're settling for here, man, it's going to be a tough night. Down 22 again. Banchero up top, palms up in the air, being like, what are we running here? It's not a good sign whenever that happens, but Banchero's going to settle for the pull-up three, can't get it to go. Rebounded by Cunningham, pushing the pace the other way. Cunningham on the left wing, cross-court pass, Duncan Robinson wide open in the right corner, but mishandles the pass, can't get off a clean shot, instead gives it over to Harris, who knocks down the three. It's a big-time shot to get it under 20 at least. And momentum's got to start somewhere. So there's a big three. 19-point game. Harris with 13. He's trying, but again, can't really be your second option. Paolo Banchero down the lane, gets fouled. 9:40 to go here. Nick Yak said it was because of his religious values. It didn't have anything to do with his religious values, I'll tell you that. Sconberg said, I think Biggerstaff is great, but when you don't have a complete team, you are limited. Think about how the season went. It's not the coach. I'm not a big fan of JB Biggerstaff, but I don't put any of the blame of what's happened during this playoff series on JB Biggerstaff at all. This was a very limited roster. And there's a big block from All-Star Thompson on Desmond Bane, trying to shoot the baseline jumper. Jalen Suggs sneaks it into Wendell Carter Jr. in the paint, gets stripped by Thompson. There's a steal. Quick outlet to Tobias Harris, beating Bane down the court to the rim. Gets chased down, blocked by Jamal Cain, who takes a hard fall. Cunningham picks up the loose ball and knocks down the lefty floater. Jamal Cain down on the ground. He took a really awkward fall. He actually is going to be helped up now. I thought it was going to be worse than that, but got a bit of a limp to him. Not great for a team that's already missing a wing. But it is a 17-point game. It is a 17-point game. Not another run possibility comeback happens. 17 is manageable. 9:16 to go in the third. Plenty of time left. Orlando's not an offensive juggernaut, so you could definitely stymie them. Detroit's a fantastic defensive team. You could definitely stymie them and make this a game again. Game's not out of hand yet. Man said Jokic out of shape and still top 5. I don't think he's out of shape. I don't think he's out of shape. Astrocast said, hope Pistons make this interesting. I think they will. I think they will. NBM said, hey, Bruce Fowler, changed my mind. I want Philly. Knicks pack that arena just like in the A. Another home game. Yeah. They do. They do indeed. Scoreboard said, Detroit just has to retool next year. They'll be fine. It's just the next year. We would have smashed them. It's just an earlier exit. I mean, we'll see what they do. They'll see what they do. They have some things to improve. They have a very young roster. The thing about young rosters, that you have acquired with draft picks is you're going to have to pay them. You're going to have to pay them, right? We know Cunningham's going to get his max. Duren, we'll wait to see if he makes the All-NBA team, but he will be eligible for a very, very, very large contract. We went through it. He's going to have to continue to improve his game. He's going to be making a lot of money. All-Star Thompson's contract will be coming up. Aren't they the same draft? Thompson and Duren. They're going to have to pay both of those guys. Thompson makes an All-NBA defensive team. I don't know if that plays a factor into how much money a player makes, but they're going to have to pay All-Star Thompson to keep him, right? Suddenly the money that you thought you had to work with will be gone, which is why teams tend to want to make moves before those contracts kick in, before you have to pay those contracts, before you're committed to those, which is why you want to make moves first. Now, there'll be contract extensions, so they will still have a year or two to play with, but time kind of winding down. Transaction period starting to wind down here for the Pistons. They're going to have to make some moves. They're going to have to retool for sure. They'll be there. I mean, they're not going away. They're here. The Pistons are here. But they're going to have to retool for sure. Figure something out. Nick Yak said, we are playing better than when we've seen the Pistons last. And the Pistons are playing significantly worse. You got to remember the 3 games that the Knicks played the Pistons. Those were 3 of the best offensive games the Pistons played all year. Little Piggy, what's up, or Little Iggy? What's up, Little Iggy? Cunningham is a smart pig. Cunningham is very smart. Angel A1 Roman, what's up, Angel? Split screen on Prime. There you go. Jason said, as much as LeBron annoys me sometimes, got to give it to him. He played the season like he was waiting for this moment all year. He's 41, so he didn't really have much of a choice. He's got to pace yourself. Detroit boy, what's up, Detroit? Not hiding. I don't think this game's over yet, Detroit. I fully expect the Pistons come back to at least make this interesting. If not, find a way to sneak this one and pull it off. Yak said, you'll be giving huge money to an undersized center. Yeah, but he's not going anywhere. He made the All-Star team. Has a very high possibility of making the All-NBA team. They're going to have to pay him, for sure. For sure. You're going to have to pay Stewart. I don't know if Stewart has a contract extension yet, but you got to pay Stewart. Here we go. We're back into it. 9:10 to go. Suggs gets it over to Carter Jr. Carter Jr. hands it off to Bane. Jamal Cain remains on the bench. That's not a great sign, considering he took that hard fall. Suggs coming to his left, and a travel on Jalen Suggs. All back to the Pistons. Here we go. Here we go. DAZ Prods? What's up, Daz? Daz Prods? Where's Wagner? Wagner not available to play today. Kwame Robinson said Pistons are going to Cancun tonight. It's a shorter flight from Orlando to Mexico. We'll see, man. Game far from over. Thompson down the lane. Stock, pump fake, leans in, goes up, gets swatted out of bounds by Carter Jr. It's going to stay here with Detroit. And All-Star Thompson still confused on why he's not getting these foul calls. David Osh Jr., what's up, David? Pretender Pistons always be bums. This year, you could probably consider them a bit of pretenders. Greg Prime, what's up, Greg? Trae Young would have helped them. I don't know about that. Doesn't really fit the way they like to play as a defensive cone. Cunningham, and they already have a great passer in Cunningham, so I don't know if they needed Trae Young. Cunningham sees a double team, throws it out. Harris, wide open right corner 3, can't get it to go. Boxing out from Orlando, but Thompson able to pull it out. They swing it out to Harris, jab step, coming to his left. Again, Suggs in the lane, floater way off. Long rebound. Banchero picks it up, gets it over to Bane. They kick it all the way back to Suggs. He'll walk it down. 8:20 to go. Suggs up top. Coming to his left. Harris switches onto him. They get over to Banchero, being guarded by Cunningham. Jab step, swings through to his right, pulling his way past Cunningham in the paint, goes up against Duren. Layup, can't get it to go, but fouled by Jalen Duren. If Duren just goes straight up there, it's a great defensive play, but he comes down looking for a contest with the off arm. After going straight up, then comes down with the arm. That's a foul. It's a foul, Jalen Duren. It's going to send Banchero to the foul line for 2. You were there. You made a great defensive play, and then you threw it away coming down. Little Iggy said, Jokic eats too many cheeseburgers? I don't think cheeseburgers is things he's eating, brother. Banchero knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. He struggled from the foul line. He missed 2 free throws already tonight. David said, come on, Chef, these Pistons throws have been on us all year. Now they're quiet. I talked about that earlier, David. Of all the... we covered all 30 teams pretty extensively this season. Tried to cover as many games as we could. Pistons fans were by far some of the weirdest I interacted with, personally. Banchero goes 2 for 2 from the foul line. Cunningham, but that does not change my opinion of how I feel about this Pistons team. I do like this Pistons team. Cunningham to the rim. Can't get the layup to go over Carter Jr. Duren right there for the tip up and in and the foul. They give him the foul call there. He's going to the foul line for one more. Detroit said, poor Pistons fans. Man said Jokic cares about his horses more than the playoffs. It's definitely what he'd like to have people believe, for sure. Greg Prime said Tyler Kolek may be good for the Pistons. Maybe. Tyler Kolek is... I think Tyler Kolek is an NBA player. Could crack a rotation. Just hasn't cracked it with the Knicks yet. Greg said somebody to move the ball around. Yeah, for sure. Duren misses his and one free throw. Under 8 to go here. Suggs bringing it down against Cunningham. Cunningham picks his pocket in the backcourt. And here comes Thompson bringing it down. In the corner, Duncan Robinson, a 3 in transition. Got it to go for Duncan Robinson. It's a 14-point game. Are we going to get a Magic timeout? Not yet. 14-point game, y'all. Pistons applying a ton of backcourt pressure. We talked about them not really getting blocks and steals in the first half. Here they go, getting the turnovers. They kick it out to Banchero for a 3, trying to get it right back. He can't. Rebounded by Cunningham, bringing it down the other way. Here come the Pistons. I'm trying to tell y'all. Game not over yet. They go over to Harris in the post, being guarded by Bane. Hands it off to Robinson. Ooh, he had an open look, but he didn't want to take it. Gets it over to Cunningham. Gets it over to Thompson in the lane. Kicks it out. Harris, right corner 3. Can't get it to go. Rebounded. Thompson skying over the defense. Out to Robinson, a 3. He can't get it to go. Duren off in the rebound. Knocked out of the hands by Anthony Black. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to stay here with Detroit. 7 minutes to go. Suns Gen said, oh no, Scott Foster doing LA versus Houston tonight? Oh, we're going to get some ejections. We're going to see LeBron pick up a technical early, because he and Scott Foster are going to go at it with some bad calls. Detroit said, can't keep Duren and Thompson long term unless one of them shoots threes at some point. I don't think Jalen Duren necessarily has to shoot threes, but I do think that 18-ish foot jump shot we've seen him shoot a couple of times this year is something he needs to develop for the long term. If he has that, I think that's more than enough spacing. That's not more than enough spacing. That's just enough spacing, I think, that could provide a Thompson-Duren combination. Had it hard with the bad hard. Uh-oh, Detroit, come on. There was a technical foul there? What was the tech on? I think it was on Bane. That's one for the bingo card. We got to go through the box score, too. So next time out, we're going to go through the box score. There's a technical foul. They get it in the Robinson. Catches, pump fake, sidestep. Wide open 3. Got it to go for Duncan Robinson. We're at 10. They get it in the Suggs, bringing it down. And another full court press here from the Pistons. Cunningham guarding Suggs. He has it up top. A 16-2 run for these Pistons team. So we approach the halfway point. Suggs up top. Gets it over to Banchero. Banchero calling for a screen from Anthony Black. Banchero coming to his right. Dancing with it against Cunningham. Over to Black. Down the lane. Lefty layup. Can't get it to go. Well contested by Duren there. Doesn't commit the foul. Here comes Thompson. Shot out of a cannon. Gets it over to Cunningham. Cunningham, jab step, coming to his right. Dancing with it against Paolo. Banchero steps back. Keeps his dribble alive. Gets it over to Robinson. Robinson being guarded by Suggs. Get it back to Cunningham. Cunningham coming to his left. Suggs switches onto him. Step back 3. Cade throws up an air ball. Ball back to the Magic here. Greg Prime said, I knew a fight was coming. No fight yet. No fight. Oh, he said, I'm proud of Mitch for not putting the country whooping on that kid. Yeah. Very happy Mitch didn't do anything extracurricular that could possibly get him suspended. Very happy about that. Suggs has it up top, being guarded by Harris. Suggs dancing with it, crosses over to his left on Robinson in the paint. Pump fake spins, got nowhere to go, flips it up. Way off on that one. Carter Jr. battling on the boards, can't get it. Can we get a substitution here, Orlando? My goodness. Thompson, cross-court pass. Robinson in the right corner, dribbles it off his foot. Tries to save it into Cunningham, thrown into the backcourt. Banchero's going to chase it down, recover. He's going to go to the rim. Gets blocked by Thompson. And Cunningham picks up the loose ball. He's bringing it down the other way. Bad decision from Banchero there. And a timeout for the Pistons. Jason said, didn't Orlando have 60 points? They did indeed have 60 points. It was 60 to 38. It's now 64 to 54. Daz said, what do you think's worse, Knicks going 7 or Magic losing? Knicks going 7 or Magic losing? I don't think either of those are bad things, brother. What do I think is worse? I don't think either of those are bad. I don't know. I don't understand the question, Daz. All right. I said we were going to look at it. We had a technical foul. And let's go through the box score real quick. So we need Harris for 15. He is hooping. He is putting that ball in the basket tonight. He's got 13. One more basket. Anthony Black, 12, 3, and 3. We have Anthony Black off the bench for 5, 1, and 1 so far. 16 to 4-1, Rack. 16 to 4-1, Nick Yak. Yep, absolutely. EMC said, keep fighting, Pistons. Not done yet. I tried to tell you. I tried to tell some of you guys. Not done yet. Not done at all. Detroit said, here we come. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, what else do we have? We have Suggs for 3 stocks. I don't think he has one. Maybe a steal. No stocks for Suggs. He does have 5 assists and 4 turnovers, which is just way too many turnovers for anybody. And then we have travel. We did have a travel called. See, y'all not keeping track of the bingo card tonight. Y'all not keeping track of the bingo card for me tonight. I'm too locked into the game. Y'all gotta get me. Y'all gotta let me know. We have a travel. We have Thompson for 3 stocks. What is he sitting with now? He didn't really have any in the first half. Now he's got a block and a steal. He needs 1 more. We needed a flagrant foul. Not yet. Robinson for 3 threes. What is he at? He's been knocking them down in this second half. He's got 3 threes. There we go. There we go. 3 threes for him. Fung Pei. What's up, Fung Pei? Man said Magic bench is hooping. That's the difference maker. Got to bring the bench in now for sure. Got Robinson for 3 threes. Dern for 20 probably ain't happening. He got 8. Although, still got some time left. Banchero for 30. He's not able to consistently get it going tonight. He's 3 for 12 from the field for 12 points. 6 for 8 from the free throw line. 6 boards, 5 assists for Paolo Banchero, though. He's hooping. He's trying. We haven't had any challenges yet. Cunningham for 30. So Banchero's not on pace for 30, but Cade Cunningham is also not on pace for 30. He's got 13 on 13 shot attempts. I mean, Paolo and Cade Cunningham mirroring each other almost perfectly. The last game and this game tonight. Any player for 3 blocks? We have 2 from Cade. No, Cade has 2 steals. Only 1 across the board. Nobody even with 2 blocks yet. Tate Cobbler said 7-point lead for Toronto. We're also going to go around the league and check that one out as well. Check that other game out. Carter Jr. for 15 points. He's got 3. He's only knocked down 3 points, right? 3-point basket? No, he's got 7. He's got 7. He's halfway there, but not looking super likely on that one. A double-double from anybody? I mean, we're looking at Suggs, who's got 5 and 5 and 5. We're looking at Paolo, who got 12, 6, and 5. Over on the Pistons, we're looking at Duren with 8 and 8. Okay. Harris has 13 and 5. What about Cade? Cade, 13, 5, and 2. Thompson has 4 and 6. He had double-digit rebounds the other night. Joe said, Pistons are getting eliminated tonight. I could just see it already. We'll see. Daz said, you never know. Cade or Banchero could get 30. They could. They could. That's why it's still up here, for sure. 2 consecutive missed free throws from the same player. Haven't seen that yet. A player fouls out. Nobody's really on pace for that. Nobody in foul trouble. I guess Baines got 3. And Duren has 3. And Duncan Robinson has 4 fouls. So I guess he's in jeopardy of that. And then we have a goaltend. Haven't seen that yet. Nobody's challenged yet. Triple doubles at the end of the game. We'll see. 4-point play. Haven't had one of those. So this is what our bingo card is looking like now. There's our bingo card now. filled in 4 spots there. Travel, Bane 3 threes, Robinson 3 threes, and a technical foul. Joe said, Bataze will get another block. He's only got 1 so far, so. All right, here we go. Detroit back in after that timeout. We're past the halfway point. Cunningham driving it down to Banchero. Step back, foul line, fall away. Comes up well short. Rebounded by De Silva. Here comes Banchero bringing it down. Putting his head down, attacking. Kicks it up top to Suggs. Suggs swings it over to De Silva. De Silva. Up top being guarded by Thompson. Over to Banchero. Cunningham goes for the steal. Banchero will take the lane in the paint. Pump fake. Kicks out De Silva. Wide open straightaway 3. Hesitated, put it up. And he's still able to knock it down after hesitating. Usually hesitation's a death sentence for a shooter. Nate Yak said, we got a spilled drink courtside. Is that a box? Not a box, but maybe we should do something on the side, like wedgies, spilled drink on the court, shot clock malfunction, something like that. We got to have one of those. Cunningham with the step back jumper, can't get it. Thompson with the offensive rebound, though. In the corner, Daniels Jenkins deep in the corner, hit the side of the backboard over to Suggs. Suggs will pick up his dribble and hold it. And Suggs has it up top, being guarded by Daniels Jenkins. They get over to Banchero. 13-point lead for the Magic. After the Pistons cut it to 10, they knock down a 3 to get it back to 13. They get over to Suggs. Left wing, extra pass. Anthony Black, wide open left corner 3. He got it to go down. Up by 16 they go. So after a nice solid run from Detroit, up 16, goes right back up on the board after back-to-back threes from Orlando. Cunningham up top being guarded by Black, coming to his right at the Duren screen. Over the top to Duren. It's a bad pass. It's a turnover. Banchero picks it up, pushing the pace against Cunningham. Gets dragged to the floor by Cade Cunningham. 2 free throws for Paolo Banchero. It's another foul for Cade. It's only his second. J3, what's up, Jay? I hope you're having a nice and relaxing evening. Nothing but relaxation for me. Stress-free basketball, Jay. Stress-free basketball for me. I'm loving it. Astrika said, aw, maybe next year, Pistons. Game not over yet, but yeah, not looking great. They cut it to 10 and quickly, well, it could be an 8-0 run. Banchero the foul line for 2. He struggled from the foul line as he misses 1. He's got another one coming. Could be a 7-0 lead. Or a 7-0 run, excuse me. Nice to see Jamal Cain step back onto the court here, subbing back in after taking a nasty fall on a chase down block earlier. Wilbar said, I'm stressing since I'm hate watching as a Knicks fan. I mean, as a Knicks fan, I get the hate watch. But it would be hilarious to point and laugh at Detroit. Duren going back to the locker room. Not sure why. He seems fine. He's walking perfectly fine. Was holding on to his hand. Maybe he's got a cut or something, but he's going back to the locker room. Ken Toss said, Pistons need better shooters next season? They do. They do. Just Dad Yanks are crushing, up 5-1. We love that. We love that. Fung Pei said, yes, sir, stress-free with no animal involvement. Keith said, will Detroit chance coaches if they lose this game like the Knicks did? Isaiah is licking his chops. Or will Detroit change coaches? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think this was a coaching issue. I think this was a front office player management issue. They had an opportunity to improve the team. Expectations should have changed, and they did not for the front office, and I think that was a mismanagement of their season. Banchero does knock down the second free throw. We're under 4 to go here in the third, bringing it down. 17-point lead for Orlando. A 7-0 run after Detroit went on a nice run to cut it to 10. Cunningham gets it over to Paul Reed. Paul Reed driving it down against Bataze. Paul Reed in the paint, gets under the rim too far, behind the back pass to Harris. Gets blocked at the rim by Bataze. What a block! After recovering back into the play, up top to Bataze, gets it over to Banchero. Banchero on the left wing, jab step, coming to his right, foul line, pull-up jumper, in and out, can't get it to stay. Rebounded by Robinson. Here comes Cunningham, shot out of a cannon, bringing it down. Has it up top, behind the back, pulls it back out against Anthony Black. Pulls it all the way back out to the logo. Trying to run a pick and roll with Duncan Robinson coming to his left. They show 2 out to Robinson. They hedge out and scram switch it. Robinson 1 dribble pull up 3 anyway. In and out, can't get it to stay. Jamal Cain skies for the rebound. Gets tied up in the paint. Jamal Cain's got nowhere to go, gets it over to Black. You got to rush to get it over the timeline. Anthony Black waiting too long, and he's able to get it past it with literally no time to spare over to Jamal Cain. Jamal Cain over to Bataze, hands it off to Black, coming to his left, spins, gets it over to Bataze up top. Bataze gets it over to Banchero. Banchero dancing with it against Harris. Down the lane to his left, kicks it out to Black. Black, rhythm dribble, step back, puts up the tough contested three. Can't get it to go down, rebounded by Cunningham. And Cade Cunningham being guarded by De Silva, full court, trying to slow him down as much as possible. Good defense from De Silva. And Cade Cunningham will instead have to walk it down instead of pushing the pace. Cunningham on the left wing crosses over to his right, has Jamal Cain switched onto him. They kick it out to Paul Reed coming to his right. Paul Reed picks up his handle, tries to get it back to Cunningham, a bad pass. Cunningham able to save it from going out of bounds. Cunningham spins off the defense inside to Paul Reed in the paint, lays it up with the left hand, got it to go over Banchero. 71-56. And now here comes Paolo. Surprised we haven't seen more Isaiah Stewart. Banchero coming to his right. On the right wing, pull-up three for Paolo Banchero. Too strong, can't get it to go. Battle on the glass for the rebound. Knocked over to Duncan Robinson, who'll push the pace the other way. Robinson on the left wing. Duncan Robinson picks up his handle. Gets it over to Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham up top, being guarded by Jamal Cain. Crossing over, showing the handle in the paint. Leaves it off. Paul Reed to the rim. Gets swatted by Jamal Cain, but a foul. Whew. Okay. Impressive block from Jamal Cain, but they call the foul there. It might not be on Cain. It might be on Anthony Black on a reach, but either way, foul. Yeah, it's on Anthony Black. Jamal Cain got him clean up top. It's clean by Jamal Cain. He had a clean block there, but Anthony Black, who also reached up for a block shot, missed the ball and came down onto the shoulder of Paul Reed. So that's five. That's 2 free throws here for Paul Reed. Paper Dog said 5 assists, Cade. 13, 6, and 3 for Cade Cunningham here tonight so far. Bruce Fowler said, anyone who lets Isaiah anywhere near a front office again is opening themselves up to protest and ridicule, and he isn't a good GM, so there's that. Well, to inform you, Bruce, there have been rumors that Isaiah Thomas has been heavily involved in the New Orleans Pelicans front office decisions, along with who's in charge of New Orleans? Joe Dumars, who has a great relationship with Isaiah Thomas. Joe Dumars. It's just rumors. Rumors they have been in contact about, as Paul Reed gets both free throws to go down, about decisions they're making as the front office. TD in the morning said, fact, Chevy, why is Stewart not in the game? I know you need offense, so you got Paul Reed in there, but I didn't mind the Paul Reed-Isaiah Stewart combo previously. They get it over to Bataze up top. Hands it off to Black. Black pulls it out. If there's anybody to limit minutes to, Bataze is going to take the lane in the paint and get stripped. If there's any center to minute limits to, it's not Isaiah Stewart, who's been phenomenal in the series. It's Jalen Duren. You still got to get Stewart in the game, who has yet to play in the second half. Danish Jenkins to the rim, gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2. It's a 13-point game. Not out of the realm of possibility this comeback happens, for sure. Still in range here for Detroit. Funpei said, "Grats, bad boys in New Orleans. You're gonna be bad birdies now." Well, to be fair, Funpei, it's not like they were doing much better before. Daz said, "I think Orlando is on rookie difficulty." I mean, if that were the case, Paolo Banchero would be playing much better tonight. Bruce said, really, that's sad? He doesn't have a job with New Orleans. He's not officially a part of their front office, but there have been rumors circulating that Isaiah Thomas has been consulted with about some of the moves that they would like to make. And again, Joe Dumars is the head of their front office over there, who obviously has a relationship with Isaiah Thomas. So, you know. Bataze hands it off to Bane, driving to the rim, layup, gets blocked by Paul Reed, loose ball. Thompson picks it up, he's shot out of a cannon, hit at Duncan Robinson out of the rim, gets chased down by De Silva, but Duncan Robinson able to get the layup to go down anyway. It's single digits, y'all. It's a 9-point game, under 50 seconds to go. Anthony Black bringing it down, he has it up top. Black gets it over to Bataze, hands it off to Black. Black dancing around the Bataze screen, he's going to stop and pop for a 3. He's going to miss it off the back rim. Duncan Robinson the rebound, over to Jenkins. This game's way too close now. It's within reach. It's a 9-point game. Danish Jenkins up top, even if they score here. Danish Jenkins stops, loses the handle, picks it back up, pulls it out. 10 seconds on their shot clock. He's being guarded by Jamal Cain. Dennis Jenkins crosses over to his right, down the lane, kicks it up top. Paul Reed, he's going to fire up the straightaway three. He's going to come up short. Anthony Black knocks the rebound over to Bane. Bane will bring it down. 10 seconds to go. My timer's off. I got you guys. 8 seconds to go. Bane coming off the screen to his left. Double step back. Pump fake. Puts up the three. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Thompson. Thompson's going to dribble down and throw up 3/4 court heave. He's going to airball, and that's going to be the end of our third quarter. 12 minutes on the clock. Fourth quarter, here we go. 71-62. 9-point game. Detroit on the verge of elimination. Made a best team win. Here we go, y'all. Yaks that Orlando has nobody battling for offensive rebounds. No, not really. Not really. Beer Battered Gummy Shark, what's up, Beer Battered? Just did Ted, Embiid, Oubre, Sellies. I'm pumped for Game 7. There you go, brother. There you go. Takeout said bad threes leading go Detroit fouls. Yep. Some bad shots for Orlando, but again, no Franz Wagner. Interesting lineup. No Franz Wagner. Obviously, he was out with the injury, but in this lineup, they have no Paolo Banchero and no Wendell Carter Jr. and no Jalen Suggs. They're going with Desmond Bane in the bench. And not like they have a ton of options with the injury. But in an elimination game like this, I would never have... If my core four are those four guys, Banchero, Suggs, Bane, and Carter Jr., I would never have three of them out at the same time. I would always have at least two of my starters in the game at all times. In a closeout game, yeah, you got to look to close it out. You can't give them any life, and you gave Detroit life. Now this game could go anywhere. Didn't they have 60 points at halftime? Was that an 11-point quarter? Nick Yak said Detroit had a 12-point second quarter and Orlando was an 11-point third quarter. Yeah, I just realized that. I'm like, they have 71. This is a good time to take a look at the other game as well. I'm pretty sure it's at halftime. It is at halftime. It's a 10-point lead for Toronto. There you go, Toronto. Force that Game 7. It is in Toronto as well. Paper Dog said, so Wendell Carter Jr. decided not to rebound tonight, huh? Seems like it, yeah. So 12-point quarter responded with an 11-point quarter. Can't have an 11-point quarter. You can't. When you're up 20, you can't. You let the team right back in. Let them right back in. All right. Let's take a look here. Wendell Carter Jr. with 0 rebounds. Yeah, you're right about that. He decided not to rebound tonight. 0 rebounds is rough. It just is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Will Barr said, I think Orlando will be fine, but the vibe was not good that quarter. No, it was not. Star said Pistons got outscored in the third, but I still don't believe they have enough to make a significant comeback unless Orlando completely breaks down. Well, it's a 9-point game. It's no longer a significant comeback, right? Your mentality has to be quarter by quarter, right? They won that third quarter there. Now going into the fourth, it's a 9-point game. A 9-point comeback is nothing in modern basketball. So here we go. User said, Detroit always were a boring, low-scoring team. See you next season. Low scoring is not always boring, brother. TT in the morning said, how about to see how much the Pistons really want it? There you go. I mean, your season's on the line. So. Dawes said they just lost that lead by 22. Couldn't bet those rebounds. Take Howard said Toronto by 10 at half. Yep, we just took a look at it. 10-point lead for Toronto at halftime here. Like I said, it is in Toronto. Trina Conway and Christina Conway with the subscription. Appreciate you, Trina and Christina. Appreciate you guys. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Niall Dimitri, what's up, Niall? Bruce said, hey, everyone can't be the juggernaut that is the New York Knicks. No. There's only one New York team. There's only one team that knows how to hold on to a lead. All right, here we go. Dennis Jenkins up top, started the fourth quarter. Pivotal fourth quarter here for the Pistons. Season on the line. Cunningham starts it, swings through towards the baseline, leans in, pump fake, goes up. Against the contest, got it to go. 7-point game. 71-64, here comes Bane, gets it over to Suggs. Suggs will bring it down. Suggs being guarded by Jenkins. Suggs and Bane out there at least, and Carter Jr. So now they have 3 of the 4 out there. Suggs come to his right of the Carter Jr. screen, gets it over to Carter Jr., kicks it out to Bane, extra pass. De Silva wide open left corner 3. He's been knocking him down tonight, but he misses that one right there. Jamal Cain, the offensive rebound, pump fake goes up. Gets swatted. Kane probably looking for a foul call. Can do that. He should have kicked it out. Dennis Jenkins bringing it down. Coming to his right. Jenkins in the mid-range. Pump fake. Gets it over to Paul Reed. And a foul on Jamal Cain holding on to Paul Reed there. You said, as a Knicks fan, of course, we would rather drag Orlando instead of Detroit. Greg Prime said, are the 1 and 2 seed going to lose? That's crazy. It's pretty crazy. Losing in the first round. It's pretty crazy for the both 1 and 2 seeds. Going down to play-in teams. Both of them would end up going down to play-in teams, but we're not there yet. Cunningham driving to his right, a lot of contact, draws the foul, and one. They give him the continuation as he flipped it up and in. Banked it in, just kind of threw it at the rim knowing the foul was coming. And guess what? It's a 5-point game. And all momentum and confidence going to the Pistons. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Where it felt like the Pistons weren't playing with any confidence. This is an elimination game. You got to get Paolo in the game. Jamal Mosley, you can't mess around with this. You got to get Paolo in there. Dot said, I think if the Magic win this, they have a chance at the Celtics 2 really hard series. They don't play the Celtics in the next round, brother. Cunningham misses a free throw, though. You can't be missing free throws. Banchero is back in, by the way, so here we go. It's a 5-point game. Could literally go anywhere. Banchero up top being guarded by Green. Banchero dancing with it, crosses over to his right, struggling with his handle, picks it up, bullet pass inside to Carter Jr., muscling in the paint, flips it up, gets fouled by Paul Reed. He's going to the foul line for 2. You just said Knicks against the 76ers sounds delicious? I don't think either of those teams are going to be easy to in the second round. It's going to be tough either way. Astrocast said, what happened? I stepped away? An 11-point quarter for Orlando in that second there. That's what happened. Star said, now is the time for both sides. Yeah, got to show what you're made of. As Carter Jr. misses a free throw. Can't be missing these free throws, guys. Christina Conway, what's up, Christina? Good evening to everyone. You're doing a great job calling the game. Go Pistons. Appreciate you, Christina. Thank you for that. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Villanette TV said, these are some of the worst offensive playoff teams. Yeah, they're both pretty bad. They're both pretty limited offensively. Carter Jr. knocks down his second free throw at least. It's a 6-point game. Here comes Danis Jenkins. Jenkins up top being guarded by Suggs. Loses the handle. Suggs can't get to it as he knocks it out of bounds. Upset at himself for not picking up that steal. It's going to stay here with the Pistons, though. Had a heart said Jalen Duren gone. Jalen Duren done, I guess. Seems like it. Seems like it. My bad. I literally had to call. Appreciate you guys, though. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. What, I had to call an entire play by myself? Talking to nobody? Appreciate you. My bad, my bad, my bad. Banchero up top. Coming to his right. Picks up his handle. Swings it out to Suggs. Pump fake. Swings through to his right against Cunningham. Down the lane in the paint. Flips it up. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Paul Reed. I will say, no Isaiah Stewart in the second half is kind of crazy, but Paul Reed's been playing excellently so far. Cunningham crosses over on Suggs. Up top, coming to his left. Cunningham dancing with it, coming to his left. Step back, deep mid-range fall-away jumper. Comes up well short. Battle for the loose ball rebound. Carter Jr. had it, lost it, diving on the floor. And a loose ball foul is called. Foul on Detroit there. Tay said, we were reading your lips. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Not much happened. Not much happened anyway. Can you repeat what happened? I don't remember. I don't know how long I was muted for, and I don't remember what happened. It's 72-68. Last time somebody scored, Cade isolated and stepped back for a tough mid-range shot, got it to go. Other than that, it's been a bit of a brick fest. Here comes Suggs bringing it down. Suggs has it up top. Coming to his left. Gets it over to Banchero. Banchero isolated against Cunningham. He's going to dance with it. Coming to his right, head down to the basket, off glass, way up, way off. Hits backboard and no rim. Here comes Duncan Robinson bringing it down. Robinson pushing the pace, has it up top, gets it over to Paul Reed, and a timeout. And a timeout is taken for Detroit here. 9 minutes to go. 4-point game, man. They've crawled all the way back. Can they take this lead? You guys know my 4 layers of a comeback. We've talked about it time and time again. In the NBA, no lead is safe unless you're the Atlanta Hawks playing the New York Knicks and you go down by 62 points and 50 points in the first half, right? Then that lead is out of reach. There's no comeback happening. But my 4 layers of a comeback. 4 layers of a comeback. Get it to single digits. Get it to a single possession. Take the lead. And then obviously, ultimately, keep the lead and win the game. Bruce said, I feel like I just had a blackout. Dawes said, did you know that like 20 years ago, the Pistons were down 3-2 to the Magic and came back and won the series? They're down 3-1. Yeah, it was the Tracy McGrady one. It was Doc Rivers. That was the start of the legend that was Doc Rivers, who leads all NBA coaches all time with 4 total. 4 total times Doc Rivers has allowed a team to make a 3-1 comeback on him. He has lost a series 4 times in which his team led a 3-1 in a series, and that was the first one. He was coaching Orlando. Tracy McGrady was the best player in the team. Grant Hill was injured. And, they allowed the 3-1 comeback to happen. Now Toronto throwing up nonsense. Still up 9, though. We'll keep an eye on that one for sure. Obviously, that's also an elimination game. SC said, I'm going to throw up. What are we doing? There you go. Nathaniel Levi, what's up, Nathaniel? Knicks coming out of the East? I hope so. So this is still 9-point game, 8:20 to go in the third. So they're moving and grooving so far, 58-67. Sons Jen Thompson, 3 stocks. Yes, sir. Sons Jen, yes, sir. What does he have? All-Star Thompson has 2 blocks, 2 blocks, and a steal. Thompson needs 1 more block for any play for 3 blocks as well. So where is he? He's up here. Are we close to bingoing anywhere? Let's update that. Are we close to bingo anywhere? Darren for 20 is not happening. So this row is gone. My pointer. It's easier to do it with the pointer. This row is gone because Darren's not getting 20. Diagonal. Carter Jr. for 15. What is he sitting with? Does he at least have like 10? He's got 8. Carter Jr. for 15 doesn't seem likely. Haven't had a goaltend yet. We're not really close to bingo anywhere. Paper Dog said, crazy still at 72. Looks close for Detroit. It is close. Doesn't look close. It is close. 4-point game. Kentos said, Tobias Harris used to be on the Magic. He did. He did indeed. SC said, we can't get simple shots to fall. Bruce said, where's Lil Penny when you need him? Where's literally anybody for this Magic team when you need him? When you need him. Cunningham up top being guarded by Bane. They show 2 defenders to him. They get over to Robinson. A deep left wing 3, a 35-footer. Can't get it to go. High, long rebound to Paul Reed. Jab step coming to his left. Suggs picks his pocket and steals it. Here comes Jalen Suggs pushing the other way. He has it on the right wing. Cross-court pass to De Silva. De Silva's been a nice punch for them off the bench here today. He's got 10 points. They get it to Banchero. He sees a double team. They get over to De Silva, cutting to the rim. Scoop layup. Gets blocked. Rebounded by Thompson. Here comes Thompson bringing it down. Is that Cade Cunningham? Because that'd be his third block. That's any player for 3 blocks that could help us. Cade bringing it down. Crosses over on Suggs. To the rim. Floater. Can't get it to go. Battle on the glass for the rebound. Thompson tipped it up, but he can't get it to go down. Battle for a loose ball. Out of bounds off of Thompson. He's calling for a challenge. He's saying, I was fouled. I don't think they want to use a challenge there, though. Orlando's got an inbound. They got substitution, so the bigger staff doesn't look interested in challenging it. Mark Bollinger, what's up, Mark? Nobody can score. Nobody can score. These are the two teams that struggle offensively. All these games have been a little bit of rock fighting here. Yak said no centers playing for goaltending. Yeah, I mean, Paul Reed's not a bad center. He's not a bad center. And he does a really good job. Well, Jalen Duren's checking back in. All right. Carter Jr., he's out there. He's not much of a shot blocker. He's more of just a contester, a rim contester. Not much of a shot blocker. So he's not really going to get a goaltend. They get into Banchero. We got 8 minutes to go. Banchero up top. Gets it over to Carter Jr. Back to Banchero. Banchero coming to his right. Mid-range pull-up jumper. He's been off all night. Continues to be off as he misses it. Cunningham the rebound. Still a 4-point game. We're under 8 minutes to go here. And Cade Cunningham will bring it down. In and out dribble. Coming to his right. Blowing past the defense in the lane. Lost the handle, but because he's fouled, he's going to go to the foul line for 2. So now Paolo Banchero, Cade Cunningham is the one putting his head down, getting to the rim and drawing these fouls, whereas in the first half, it was Paolo Banchero who was putting his head down and attacking the basket and drawing these fouls. Agent Super Argo, what's up, Agent? Magic are choking right now? A little bit. A little bit. Cunningham at the foul line. Greg Prime said, Magic have 12 points in the last 16 minutes. Yeah, it's been rough. It's been very rough. Good point, brother. Sunset and Skylines, what's up, Sunset? Chevy, I know the score is close, but the Pistons are losing. They are indeed losing, but they were down by 22. So all momentum pointing towards the Pistons right now. As Cunningham knocks down the first free throw, he's got one more coming. It's a one-possession game, so there goes the second layer. One-possession game. He does knock down both free throws, 2-point game. It's a 2-point game. 72-70. Suggs bringing out. This is the only way it was going to go. Did not expect a blowout for the Pistons. Cunningham in the passing lane gets the steal. He's going to go the other way. In the paint, pump fake, goes up, layup, got it to go. We're tied at 72 off the back of Cade Cunningham, who's now up to 23 points, an 18-1 run for this Pistons team. They get it to Anthony Black, swings through to his right, gets it over to Banchero in the paint, swings it out to Suggs. Suggs, no hesitation, fires up a 3. He can't get it to go. It's Brick City out here for Orlando. Here comes Detroit trying to stay alive. The crowd is silent. Cunningham trying to throw a dagger into them. There's 7 minutes to go. Can they take the lead? This is the third layer of the comeback. You got to get the lead. Harris in the paint, layup, gets fouled. He's going to go to the foul line and try and take this one. We got 7 minutes to go. Kentas said Magic are nervous right now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're nervous right now. Mark said it's a crazy game. It is a crazy game. J3 said Magic gonna get hot. I mean, it would have been nice if they would, if they could have knocked down a couple of shots before. Christina, let's go Pistons. They're hooping, man. They're hooping. Here they come. Dawes said they're just shooting threes. I mean, every time they try to go into the paint, they get swatted. Harris completes the third layer of the comeback. Takes the lead. The first lead for the Pistons since it was 26-25. Jay Lopez said the momentum has shifted. Oh, it shifted a while ago, but yeah, it's fully on the side of the Pistons now. Yak said it's not that Detroit is on fire, more that Orlando stopped scoring. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They've slowly chipped away at it. It's not like they have just, consistently gone down and scored point after point after point and knocked down a bunch of threes to get back into this one. Orlando has just stopped scoring. Pistons defense has locked in here, but also Orlando just missing open looks. They get over to Bane. He's got an open one. He's been on fire tonight, but he can't even get it to go. He can't break the scoring streak. Here comes Detroit. They have the 2-point lead. Harris knocked down both free throws. Cunningham in and out, coming to his left, bullying his way to the basket, goes up, gets swatted by Carter Jr. Good defense there. They get over to Banchero, dancing with it against Robinson, putting his head down, sees 2 defenders, picks up his dribble, he's got nowhere to go, gets it over to Carter Jr., being guarded by Duren, hands it off to Bane, coming to his right, pull-up 3 for Desmond Bane, off the back rim, can't get it to go, a long rebound, Suggs picks it up, gets it over to Anthony Black, gets it over to Bane, Bane from the logo, pump fakes, Duren goes for it. He's got Bane on Duren. He's going to throw up the logo three anyway. He's going to come up well short. Rebound goes over to Cunningham. Loose ball. Robinson picks it up. Gets it back to Cunningham. Why would you shoot that shot? Orlando 0 for 10 in this quarter. And Cunningham gets fouled going to the basket. They're in the bonus. But Orlando is also in the bonus. Both teams in the bonus for the final 6 minutes of the game here. Cunningham's going to the foul line for 2. AB said if Orlando loses this, they're trash. They've always been trash, brother. Jason said a timeout for Orlando here. Jason said 11 point third and 1 point fourth so far in the fourth. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. 12 points through 18 minutes. 12 points in 18 minutes of play. What are they, the Atlanta Hawks? Greg said Orlando is a funny city. Can lose a game, it's still a fun city. I mean, I guess. I think people would prefer Miami over Orlando, but they do that. They do got Disney over there. Greg said 12 points in 18 minutes since the half for the Magic. Yeah, man, that's rough. We are at the halfway point of this pivotal fourth quarter. And there's really, you got to make a shot. You really just got to get yourself a bucket. Wilbar should have called the timeout ages ago. Yeah, I don't know what their timeout situation is looking like. I don't know how many they have remaining. I wish that's something ESPN would keep up here, but on their graphic. But yeah, that's not great. It's not great at all. Nick Yak said this is horrible shooting. Horrendous. As a matter of fact, yeah, good point. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the team stats. We have yet to look at team stats all night long. Let's do it now. Field goal percentage, 38 for both sides. Putrid. Detroit is not barely. They're winning by 5. That's a decent amount to be winning the possession battle by. 26 made shots for Orlando, 28 for the Pistons. 9 made threes for Orlando, 7 for Detroit. Free throws are about the same, 15 attempts to 16 attempts. Both teams have made 11. That's not great, but it's not horrific. Rebounds, 45 to 35, beating them by 10 on the glass, and they've got 6 more offensive rebounds. No Stewart in the second half entirely, by the way, because Duren is back in. Came in for Paul Reed. Jason said even Atlanta had 15 in the first 12 minutes. This is insane. Christian said Orlando's going to win? I would hope so. Christian said, where's Bane? He's in the game. He's just taking some silly shots. Greg Prime said Mitchell won't be suspended. No, he will not. He might face a fine, but I don't think he'll be suspended. Fortnite Clips, what's up, Fortnite? 38% in the playoffs, yeah. Mark, what's up, Mark? Marketing, what's up, marketing? Just that's at 18 minutes, 13 points in a playoff game. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's rough. It's been rough. No, 12 points. They had 60 points at halftime. Next fan, go Orlando. Christian Blaze said, dang, when I last checked the score, that Orlando had 60 at halftime. Yeah, they have had 12 points over the course of 18 minutes. My guy, Knicks fan, with the support. Appreciate you, brother. A gold coin. Using 10 jewels. Appreciate you, brother. Jason said RJ Barrett's hooping, by the way. That's my guy. Never doubted. 14-point lead. Yes, sir. Toronto forced that game 7. What does RJ have? We're checking back into the game here. 18, their leading scorer. No, Jacoby Watson with 19. My goodness, he's hooping now. RJ, 6 for 12 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3, 7 boards, 3 assists, plus 20 for RJ. He is hooping. I tried to tell people a long time ago. Tried to tell people, RJ's the truth. Star J Barrett. Nikki said, this is pathetic. The Magic could have sealed this win. If they lose tonight, the Pistons will win in Game 7 for sure. Very well could. They very well could. Dawes said, the Magic were leading by 14, and we know what happened, so I don't know about the Raptors. Well, the Raptors aren't the Magic. Although, yeah. I mean, they have more reliable scores. Crazy to say, that Raptors team, which struggles offensively as well, has more options to score than this Magic team. Cunningham at the foul line. Knocks down the first free throw. Got a nice friendly roll. Hung on the back of the rim for a minute there, but it does drop down. Love the RJ, but getting OG is so worth it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I still make that trade 10 times out of 10. Cunningham knocks down 2 free throws. A 4-point lead for Detroit. And in a game like this where Orlando can't score at all, they've missed 17 straight field goals. Wow. 17. They get over to Bane. He gets open for 3. He's going to fire another one, and he's going to miss another one. In and out on that one. And Wendell Carter Jr. picks up a foul against Cade Cunningham there, and that's 2 more free throws for Cade. Orlando is falling apart. TT in the morning said now it's a 2-possession game. Here they come, man. Yeah. Craig Prime said, I feel like Detroit is very demoralized. You mean Orlando? Orlando might be very demoralized. Christian Blaze said, for the basketball's sake, it'll be better to have the top 3 East teams alive at the second round. My guy Christian Blaze trying to sneak the Celtics into this discussion. Get them both out of there. Can't win in 6? Get them out of here. Imagine having to play a Game 7 just to make it out of the first round, Christian. Cunningham goes 2-2 from the foul line again. A 6-point lead. It's 2 threes. But Bane is just throwing up brick after brick, so 3-point shot's not looking good. Anthony Black struggling with his handle. They get over to Banchero, dancing with it against Cunningham, coming to his left. Little fall-away jumper in the paint over Cade, comes up short. Rebounded by Harris. Nothing going down. 19 missed straight shots for the Orlando Magic. I don't know if I've ever seen something like that before. AP with an extremely generous super chat. Appreciate you, AP. I'll read it in a second. Cunningham gets it over to Robinson. Gets over to Harris in the post, being guarded by Suggs. Harris backing him down. Backing him down. Backing him down. Steps through. Little fall-away jumper in the paint. Got it to go. 8-point lead. What a turnaround. And the crowd, you could hear a pin drop in this arena right now. The crowd can't believe it. They're silent right now. Deepa Kumaro, what's up, Deepa? Suggs gets it out to Black. Anthony Black in a run and pick and roll with Carter Jr. coming to his left. They swing it out to Banchero. Banchero driving to his left, down the lane to the paint, lefty layup. He smokes it. Carter Jr. gets the tip, but it doesn't matter because Banchero got fouled. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. 4:50. Here's the thing, 4:52 to go. There's so much time left in this game, but this has been such a demoralizing run for this Magic team. Suns Jen Harris 15. Yes, sir. There it is. Christian Blaze said, damn, still no double-doubles with all these bricks? True. Duran's still stuck on 8 points? Yeah. My guy AP, what did my guy AP say? He said, if Orlando loses this series up 3-1, how does that coach keep his job? Well, he was going to be fired anyway. From what I've witnessed now, that I see what they can actually do, I think New York will beat the Pistons like they did last year. I tend to agree. This Magic coach was going to be fired anyway, regardless. They're going to win this if they're going to win. They're going to win this if they win this series. My goodness, phrase it properly. If the Magic win this series, the coach is still going to get fired if they lose in the next round anyway. Even if they make the conference finals, Jamal Mosley is likely going to be fired anyway. But we'll see. Here we go. Cunningham danced with it against Anthony Black, coming to his right in the corner. All-Star Thompson will fire up a 3. Well, short. Why'd you shoot that 3, All-Star Thompson? A little bit of a heat check. A little bit. Here comes Banchero bringing it down against Robinson. Over to Suggs, a left wing 3. Way off again. Battle on the glass for the rebound, and a loose ball foul on Jalen Duren. And they're in the bonus, so that's 2 free throws for Carter Jr. Can cut it to a 4-point game. 14-point half with 4 minutes to go. Crazy, Yak. And it's crazy they're still in the game somehow. Greg Williams said Orlando are the healthier squad. Orlando's missing arguably their first best player and at worst their second best player in Franz Wagner. 28-point swing is crazy. It really is. Carter Jr. knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. They were down 22 at halftime. They were. It was 60-38. 60-38. 42-15 run. Carter Jr. misses the second free throw. Cade Cunningham the rebound. Here comes Detroit bringing it down. Cunningham up top being guarded by Banchero. Cunningham crosses over to his right. Anthony Black switched onto him. Over to Thompson. Back to Cunningham. He'll fire up the 3 over Suggs. He'll knock down the 3 over Suggs. Back to 8 it goes. Huge 3 for Cunningham. Suggs bringing it down. Head down to the rim. In the paint. Leaves it off Carter Jr. Gets blocked by Thompson from behind. A clean block from Arsar Thompson. That's his 3rd, I believe. Cunningham gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2 more. D. Grant said, you pulling for the Pistons? No, I'm not pulling for either team. Don't matter to me. Steven collect cards. F the Pistons. As a Knicks fan, I want the Magic to win. Yeah, it'd be preferable, but it don't really matter to me, honestly. Nikki said it's a wrap. 4 minutes to go. All momentum pointing towards Detroit right now. Cunningham going to the foul line for 2 free throws after the foul. Looking rough for Orlando. 22-point lead. Nothing going their way now. What did we have? Harris, 15 points. Harris, 15 points. Not looking like we're going to get bingo anywhere, though, unfortunately for us. It's not over until the clock stops? Oh, for sure. For sure. Game not over yet, but it's not looking good for Orlando. I would have had more faith in a Pistons comeback than an Orlando comeback, especially without Franz. BMR, what's up, BMR? Why did they stop doubling Cade? Make it make sense? It's a good question, sure. Cunningham with 30, by the way. Mark said 351 is a lot of time, but they haven't been hitting. No indication that it's going to change either. Yeah, that's my thing. I'd be down for the comeback. They're not knocking down anything. And they're getting decent looks. Star said, honestly, from so many Orlando bricks, I'm surprised the Pistons lead isn't higher. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Although Cunningham's going to the foul line for 2. The Magic missed 21 straight field goals. They have yet to make a field goal in this quarter, guys. All their points coming from the foul line. Cunningham with 30. Where is that at? Where is Cunningham for 30? Right here. Four-day clip said 21 in a row has to be a record. That's what I'm thinking. That's why I keep emphasizing it. It has to be a record. Double-double also? Who got the double-double? Cade got the double-double. 10 rebounds. All right, we're filling in the board, but not getting really close to bingo. Not too particularly close to bingo. Cunningham knocks down both. They're up by 10. A 32-point turnaround. Banchero bringing it down. Can we knock down a shot in the second half? Banchero against Duran. Stops, kicks it out to Suggs. Taking the lane to his right, kicks it back out to Banchero. Left corner 3. Can't get it to go. Long rebound. Duran chases it down. Bataza, you got to get to that, brother. Here comes Cade Cunningham. And yeah, this one might be over. This one might be over. I got no faith in this Orlando comeback. 10-point game. Cunningham coming to his right. Bataze switched on to him. Cunningham's going to dance with it. He's trying to put the nail in the coffin. They're going to show the double team inside the Harris in the paint. Leans in, sees a double team, kicks out to Thompson. Thompson kicks it out to Robinson. Ran off the line by Bataze. He's going to put up the 3. He's going to knock down the 3. 13-point lead. And there's the ball game. There's the ball game, folks. 22 in a row, 4-night clips. 22 in a row. Greg Pond said it's over. What the heck happened? They put up 60 in the first half. And 15 cents. 15 points in the second half so far. And honestly, it's not even, like it's really good Detroit defense, but it ain't locked down defense. They've had makeable shots. They've had more than enough makeable shots. Mark said Magic and a Magic. Yeah, indeed, brother. Yes, indeed. My goodness. Yak said 0 for 22 and counting. They have yet to make a shot here in the fourth quarter. We got 3 minutes to go. They're sitting with 0 field goals made, guys. 0 field goals made. I want to take a look. How many points have they scored in this? 3? 4. 4. They scored 11 in the second quarter and 4 so far in the fourth quarter. They scored 35 in the second. Jamal Cain, Tristan Da Silva, substitutions, pull guys in and out, try different things. Clearly the confidence is waning. Jamal Mosley, are you coaching this team or not? Pull guys in, pull guys out, give a guy a breather, hype him up. The game might be too far gone at this point, but man. Mark said can't rely on Banchero. Terrible shooting night from him, but they had a 22-point lead, you know. Corpex said the Houston Rockets hold the record for the fewest points scored in a half in the NBA history with 25 points in the second half of Game 6, 18 Western Conference Finals against Golden State, well, that looks like that's going to be broken here tonight. History yet again. Like I said, we watching a lot of history together, guys. Suggs shoots up a contested three. He airballs it. Why, though? Why are we shooting up that contested three? Interesting stat pool. 34-4 run. This is gross. LP said Pistons hit them so hard they made them turn to believe in science, Orlando science, where the magic is gone. They will beat that record tonight. Yes, indeed, they will. Yes, indeed, they will. 15 points in the second half. Think about it. If this were the first half of basketball, a team scoring 15 points? Like, imagine a team had 15 points at halftime. Like, you have to think about it this way. Harris gets fouled, he's going to the foul line for 2. This is over. Think about a team scoring 15 points, having 15 points at halftime of an NBA basketball game. They have scored 15 points in the second half so far. Imagine team sitting with 15 points at halftime. Record-breaking performance is crazy. A record that you do not want to have. Fortnite clips said they would be arrested for fixing games. Magic didn't see Detroit in the second round. Man said, how many threes made does Cade have? Cunningham misses the second free, or Harris misses the second free throw, excuse me. 23 straight missed field goals, man. They have 4 points in this fourth quarter. Banchero blows past the defense for a two-handed slam. Their first made field goal. They broke the curse. They broke whatever record that was. No baskets got to be a record. Harris bringing it down. Suggs fouls Tobias Harris there, putting him at the foul line. I mean, I get going for the steal, man, but Take Howard said smoked a 24-point lead. Mark said, are the Pistons doing their usual fouling? Are the Pistons doing their usual fouling? They fouled a decent amount tonight for the most part. Harris had the foul line for 2. He just split a pair. Knocks down the first one, though. Got another one coming. Biggie said, does provide some hope that the Knicks can conquer the Pistons if we end up playing the Clowns? We'll see. We'll see. Zay Gardner said, what is Orlando doing? I don't know, brother. BMR, this is what you get when sports betting runs the league. I don't think that's it, brother. Nobody wants to set a record like this. This is not a one-person thing. This is a team inadequately playing the entirety of the second half here. I think playing ahead of themselves, looking ahead to the second round, and giving up this game. Thompson comes over for a block. That's definitely 3 blocks at least. Harris gets it over to Cunningham. Gets it over to Harris. Gets it over to Thompson. And a timeout for Detroit. That is 3 blocks. Right? That's 3 blocks for Thompson. The problem I have with this game right now, that is 3 blocks for Thompson, by the way. There he goes right there. The problem I have with this game right now and why you're hearing like such dismay in my voice, why I sound so down in dumps, is because it's not even like, it is an incredible comeback. Don't let me take anything away from Detroit. But it's just Orlando just stopped playing as a team. I've never seen a team like this in the second half. Mark said Suggs sucks. Yeah, unfortunately. I actually really like Suggs coming out of Gonzaga. I still kind of like Suggs, but this performance is rough, man. 5 points, 7 boards, 7 assists, 1 for 10 from the field is rough. Any player with 3 blocks, still not helping us with bingo. Still not helping us with bingo, guys. TT in the morning said Magic got comfortable and thought they had it in the bag. They did. Yep, absolutely. TT in the morning. I think that is the exact thing that happened as well. Calvel, what's up, Cal? Orlando without Franz Wagner is a disaster. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, look, man, you miss your second best player. It's gonna look rough, but this is a disaster. This is not a poor performance. This is one of the worst performances we've ever seen. Harris ends up with a wide open three. He misses it. Rebounded by Suggs. Gets fouled by Duren. Duren fouls out? No, it's only 5 fouls. I was about to say, it's another thing on the card. Duren, 5 fouls. Suggs going to the foul line for 2 here. 14-point game. Jason said, problem is they did have it in the bag. It took a record-breakingly bad second half to lose. Yep. I mean, they're not even going to score 10. What's the lowest amount of points scored in a quarter in NBA history? They have 6. Now 7. Suggs is going to knock one down here. I want to look that up. Lowest amount of points scored in an NBA game. Scored in a quarter of an NBA game. 15 points. That's not true. Lowest combined scored by both teams. I don't want that. I want one team. I don't want combined. I want singular team. Single team, 3 points in 1950. All right, well, we're going to blow past that. We've already blown past that. Suggs knocked down both free throws, by the way. Harris knocked down a little jumper in the paint. It don't even really matter. My goodness, 1 minute to go. Orlando's going to go down. I'd start chucking threes now. Banchero's going to step back, throw over to Suggs, jab step. He'll take the lane, kick it out to De Silva. They're going to run him off the line. In the paint, scoop layup. He's going to smoke it. And it's out of bounds going back to the Pistons. That's a disaster. To not be able to score 10 points in a pivotal fourth quarter of a closeout game. This would be like a competitive end if Orlando was just miserable and not historically woeful here in the fourth. My goodness. Normally, Stale Toast Steve, what's up, Stale Toast? Gave these guys confidence. You go to Pizza Arena, yeah. Jenkins misses a layup. 30 seconds to go. Bane's gonna stop and get it over to Banchero, who'll fire up a 3. He'll miss it. I'm actually rooting for them to miss now. Now we want to set history, and they're gonna run out the clock. 8 points and 11 points, 19 points scored in the half. You want to talk about back-to-back nights of NBA history? We're looking at the Knicks setting history last night in an amazing way, and the Pistons setting history tonight in the worst way possible of an elimination game in which they were up 22 points. You just decided to no-show the second half. 11-8? 19 second half points? Corp said, go Pistons, quiet the haters. Take Howard said, trash stick a fork in them? Stick a fork in them? Eric Lyerly said, Christian, that's 1 game on Sunday. Seems like Toronto is about to win. That'll be 2 games on Sunday. Let's not say Toronto's about to win, because they are not even in the fourth quarter. They just started the fourth quarter. It's an 11-point game. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. I know Toronto's been leading majority of the night. Let's swap over to that game. We have to watch at least a little bit of this next game just to get this terrible taste out of our mouths. I mean, absolutely horrific here. What game? Where is this? This is also on Prime. Absolutely horrific. Horrendous basketball. Some of the worst, the worst basketball I've ever had to watch in the NBA. The worst NBA basketball I've ever watched, man. TD in the morning said, would call that luck or bad consistency for the Magic? Would I call that luck or bad consistency? It's bad. It's bad consistency. I wouldn't say it's luck. I don't think the Pistons lucked into that win. I think Orlando rested on their laurels. They thought they had it in the bag. They thought 22-point lead at halftime. Everything's cooking. We'll knock down some shots in the second half. Detroit will go away. You know, we all watched that game. We all were saying the same things at halftime. But we're like, oh, yeah, this Detroit team looks out of it. They look like they're ready to give up on their season. My guy TT in the morning, you were saying it too. You were like, yeah, this team's playing like garbage right now. Like they lackadaisical, lazy, you even used that word. You know, and I agreed. They looked that way. They scored 12 points in the second. You know? Mark said, I switched over to Cavs Raps. I have Cavs Raptors on right now, but we're going to wrap it up here. We're not going to stick around for the entirety of this quarter here. We're going to wrap it up. We know we got games now. We got a game 7. TT in the morning said, I was emotional. I mean, I'm not emotional, and I agreed with you, because they definitely looked that way. You're right. I think you were right. They went into halftime. They talked about it. They came out. Your star, Cade Cunningham, said, I'm a star. I'm going to lead the way. Y'all hop on my back. I got y'all. Whereas the Magic, they walked into the halftime, and they're like, hey, moving on to the second round, right, guys? Heck yeah. Woo, we did it, guys. We did it. And now, history about to repeat itself. Now you got a game 7. And if we talk about game 7, give me Cade Cunningham in a game 7. Over Paolo Banchero, give me Cade. Give me Cade. Stephen Allen said, prayers for the Pistons and Detroit Arena. We'll see. MW Fitz, what's up, MW? Magic only 8 points in the fourth. Yeah, set a record. Set a record. This is what happens when you don't keep your foot on the gas, which is why we constantly say when the Knicks are up big, keep your foot on the gas pedal, keep your foot on the Knicks. Because the leads are never insurmountable. Unless you get to like a 30-point lead. Then it starts to become insurmountable. Detroit Motorcade led the way. Everybody hopped on his back. Stale Toe said, well, hopefully Toronto takes this series. We'll see. Star said, I would not risk betting on any games tonight because anything can happen. I would always advise against betting games entirely because anything could happen. It's not just tonight. It's not just the playoffs. Mark said, the Raps can win this without Ingram. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'd make the argument, Mark, that they are better without Ingram. Unfortunately, they don't have quickly, but Mobley misses 2 free throws, by the way. Stale Toast said, they forced so many threes, man. I said so many times, what was that? Well, in the fourth quarter there, they were forcing threes because they started to feel the pressure. They needed to knock down a shot. Bane had a couple of open ones that he didn't knock down, but for the most part, they just missed open, makeable looks. They didn't need an awesome third quarter. They didn't need an awesome fourth quarter. They had a 22-point lead. They had a bit of a cushion, and they gave it all away. Eric Lyerly, gifted clutch. Appreciate you, Eric. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that. Chi said, one sole reason as why I'm not a full NBA fan is because these players sit out games with slightly injuries and at times it costs their teams, different from baseball and hockey players. Franz? We've seen guys snap their Achilles, brother, and miss a year and a half of their careers. Yeah, they're not going to play with a calf strain. That's stupid. Fung Pei said, you don't need to steal it. I just give it. My guy still Toe Steve. Star said Harden needs to make those threes. Toronto holding on to an 11-point lead. We're just filibustering a bit at the end of the game here, but we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get up out of here. We're not going to stick around like we did the other night. It looks like Toronto mostly has this in hand, but again, it's only 11. Could go either way. We literally just watched a 22-point comeback happen. In probably the worst way I've ever seen it. They had 60 points at halftime. They end the night with 79 points. Disaster. Disaster has struck. Disaster has struck here. Detroit said filibuster? Nah, we're going to wrap it up here tonight. I think Detroit's going to pull this out and get a game 7, but you never know. Never know. Mindset John, what's up, Mindset John? Just joined in, talk to me. I need an update. We watched history last night, right, John? The Knicks set history, incredible night. Set history in multiple areas. Margin of victory in the playoffs and all kinds of things, and largest lead in NBA playoff history, 62 or 61 or whatever it was. And then we watch history tonight with Orlando, where Orlando only scores, brother, 19 points in the second half. They had 60 at halftime. They end the night with 79. A disastrous night for the Orlando Magic. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Bryn Finley, what's up, Bryn Finley? Magic shot 5% in the fourth. 5%, Bryn Finley. I think they made 2 shots, right? Something like that. A Banchero dunk when they stopped playing. And they might have only made one shot, actually. That's the only one I can think of. End of day said, are you doing LA? No, I don't really have a ton of interest in that series. If it goes to Game 7, we will indeed be watching Game 7, though. Because you got to watch Game 7. But I do think LA has a pretty good chance of pulling this one off tonight. Fung Pei said, thanks, Sheffy and crew. 2 nights in a row where history was made. What an honor. Sheffy channel, man, where history is made. We watch history. LP said, I wonder how the Magic Reddit is doing. Oh, my goodness. It's got to be disaster over there. Tay Cowboy said, proud of RJ? Really proud of RJ. That's my guy. It's my guy forever and always. I'll root for him. I'll root for his success. As long as they're not playing the Knicks. Chichi said, Chef PK subbing, broke his ankle, went to the locker room, taped it up, and got back out there on that ice. A broken ankle is different in a football game than it is playing with a strained calf in the NBA when you can snap your Achilles and miss 2 seasons of your career and not get paid. And Detroit Boy, he said that's false. So he's pushing back against that story. It's not even true. I wouldn't know. But you know, players are literally playing through injuries all across the NBA. But, you know. Star says, Sports Theater will certainly be cooking tonight. Yup. Yup. It's one of those nights, man. One of those nights. Naughty Ghost said, watch the Rockets pull off the reverse sweep too after we were all dogging them for not having a PG. Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely on the table, obviously. 3-2 here tonight. I expect the Lakers to pull it off, but if not, I'm definitely down for a Game 7 on Sunday, right? On Sunday. Tomorrow, by the way, we can go over the schedule tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. We have 1 game on the slate, right? So Game 7? Yep, 1 game on the slate. 7:30 start time is going to be a good one. Game 7, we will find out who the Knicks get to play in round 2, baby. Get to find out who the Knicks play in round 2. 76ers versus Celtics. Should be a good one. It is in Boston. 76ers are on the road. Boston, not the greatest home team this season, especially in the playoffs with this core. So we'll see how they do. Sunday, we have a couple of to be determined. We know we're watching Magic Pistons on Sunday. We will see if we have these other games available to us. These are all possibly ending here tonight. But it looks like Toronto has the advantage right now. They might be able to pull it off, so we might not be able to get that one. We'll see what happens with the Lakers-Rockets game later on tonight. But we do know we at least have a game on Sunday. So we will be locked into Magic Pistons at least. Hopefully we have a doubleheader that we could do. Hopefully we have 2 Game 7. So back-to-back Game 7 days, Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday we start round 2. Monday we have Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Spurs. Time is to be determined. And we will have the Knicks taking on one of Philly or Boston. So we'll do the doubleheader of this because it is Game 1. We got to check it out. I know the Timberwolves are lacking so many players, and I'm not super interested in the Timberwolves anymore because of that. So I'm not super interested in the series because the Spurs should wipe the floor with them. But we'll do the doubleheader because it is Game 1 on Monday. Star said, good times, Sir Chevy. Have a good rest of the next games. Love how you phrased it because I'm about to go read me some Game of Thrones here tonight. It's been a while since I've been able to have the opportunity to go do so. So we're going to go do that tonight. We're going to set up for the game tomorrow. Then we're going to go do that. Man said KD a quitter. How a veteran just leaves his team in the playoffs. I mean, he didn't leave the team, and he's not quitting. He's injured. He's 37 years old with a calf strain who's a guy who's already torn his Achilles. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? KD has historically played through injuries. As a matter of fact, that's how he tore his Achilles to begin with. KD's always played through injuries. If he can't go, he can't go. 37 years old, sometimes you can't go. By the way, it was a 5-point game. Come on, Toronto. Brent Friendly said, which book are you on? I'm halfway through ASOS. What's ASOS? ASOS? A Storm of Swords? I'm halfway through book 1. I just started, and because I don't have a ton of time, I'm getting through like a chapter a night. And since the playoffs started, it's been like 2 weeks since I've been able to read it because we've been so locked in with the playoff games. So I read after we broadcast the games, and so I don't have a ton of time, brother. Brent Friendly. I've never watched the show, so I'm going through book 1. I'm about halfway through book 1. Incredibly fun, incredibly well written. So I've slowed down like hell as well. Yeah, I mean, I was on a really nice pace. Literally, at least a chapter a night. I try to get maybe 2, sometimes 3. And if I had free time, I was reading. Right? Like if I had 30 minutes before we had to go live, I was in the back behind the green screen. I was in the back reading a chapter to Game of Thrones. But since the playoffs started, I knew this was going to happen. Since the playoffs started, we've been doing double headers. We did the quadruple header. We've done triple headers. We've slowed down a bit here as the playoffs have sort of, wound it down, and we know which series are good and which series we want to tune into. But now that the second round's going to start up, we're probably going to get back to doing a couple double headers here and there, and then we'll pick and choose which games we want to do. But yeah, I'm going to dive back into the book for the first time in like 2 weeks tonight. At least that's the plan. Who knows? I might, because here's the thing. After the stream is over, I have to sit down and set up for tomorrow's stream. Because we got work in the morning, and then, so it's just not a ton of time going around. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. It's been a while. I'm gonna have to refresh myself where I was. I believe I have a Sansa chapter coming up. Nadigo said, look Tobias Harris just won. The keys to Detroit off a bum ankle. I don't want to hear nothing about injuries. Takeout said, Toronto bad shots, no defense or offensive rebounds. Here we go. All right, with that being said, we're going to end it right there. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me here tonight. We witnessed history. So shout out everybody in the chat. Shout out all the channel members, whether you were gifted a membership or you decided to become a member all on your own. I appreciate you guys nonetheless. Unfortunately, we couldn't get bingo, so we couldn't gift any of the subs out. But I appreciate you guys. We're gonna hit bingo. I've got a good feeling about tomorrow for some reason. Game 7, we're gonna cook something up for the Game 7 bingo, right? Well, I'm gonna take a look at it, see what we can add, see what we can do. But with that being said, appreciate you guys. Remember, brush teeth for bed, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Bye.